Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
I think everybody's here almost.
Yep.
Jason, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, nice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, everybody sounds good.
Excellent.
Don't hear too much feedback yet. That's good. It's usually some trouble we have sometimes.
I haven't started talking yet. That's the problem.
When the captain talks, there's a sea of static that overwhelms us sometimes.
Which is kind of in character when you think about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
I ionize everything. I can't help it.
So today we are going to have a session that is 6 years in the future from our last session. So there's been a lot of changes and modifications to the setting, and probably to some of the characters as well. And we're going to have some new characters. So before we start, we got some new players here. We've got Jason and Rick, and hopefully they find their way to play with us. And are very, I don't know how you describe our style. It's kind of silly and serious and horrific and sci-fi-ish. I don't know. But yeah, so we have two new characters. Rick, do you want to introduce yourself and character, I guess?
Oh yeah. I'm Rick. I'll be playing Kaz. I'm sure you guys remember him. But there's a little bit of a little difference with Kaz nowadays. He his head was decapitated by the Shi, and he was put onto a bot body.
Yeah, that's actually
It was actually Jinu's. If that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Genu. That's how we pronounce it, I guess.
Jinu's bot body. So Kaz now is on Jinu's bot body, and he's gonna be a little different. You know, he's went through some torture and a lot of pain, and he hasn't forgotten that. So revenge is definitely on his mind.
Yeah, I think we had it worked out that your nervous system was pulled, and it's been grown, and it's sort of interweaved into the workings of the bot.
Yes.
So that'll be fun to see. So yes, you're going to have Kazuka's head on Jinu's body, and we kind of said that Pawn, she's the little girl that used to be an AI program on the ship, she was the one that actually did all that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So work that in.
And
Wait, so does that mean that he has long braided hair and some sort of extra frill? Pan was sort of experimenting with Genu.
Well, those were some of her early experiments. Then she got serious and started splicing nervous systems into into machines. So
Kaz is actually bald now.
Oh.
Maybe his hair follicles stopped growing.
Yeah, he has like a synthetic blood, so it's only to keep his brain alive, really. So it doesn't really produce all the stuff that would normally help you with all your growth.
Yeah, he's kind of a freak. But hopefully he'll still have some wise wisdom for you guys from time to time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's our freak now.
That's right. And then we also have Jason. He's a new player. Mr.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. So, my character's name is Xu Desheng, which is Chinese, I guess. So he's, ethnically would look like Chinese, I guess, or maybe a mixture of, different Asian ethnicities. He's from Ganjen. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Ganjin. Yeah, I'm sure you can pronounce it a couple different ways.
Yes, and just to give you like a little physical, he's actually, we're going to change one thing on here, just his age. I think I want to make him a little bit younger.
Okay, that's fine.
So he's in like his 30s, early 30s, we'll say. He's 5'8", 160 pounds, and he wears just like, kind of like, how to describe, Not like really expensive clothes, but just he's well groomed.
9'8".
What's that?
What's that, John? John, you still there? I think he's having some technical difficulties. Just keep going. We'll get him back.
Okay. So he wears like a dark blue, just kind of like Chinese style shirt, with like the Mandarin collar kind of thing. Just like some dark blue slacks. And so just very like not flashy, but the more like I don't know how long he's been on the ship, but I'm guessing that you would have picked up on his accent. He's kind of got a higher class accent, and he's told you that he's a philanthropist. I don't know if you guys have looked at his character sheet, if you know his real deal, or if I should go into it, but yeah, he's a philanthropist, we'll just say.
Yeah, you can work that into the campaign as we go. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't really need to know his whole deal. Just he's told you he's a philanthropist, and he's, worked his way onto the ship. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, he keeps his hair like nicely slicked back. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, we're going to start the session today. You guys are on a salvage run. Yeah, and you're going to be basically on this space station that was an old shipyard that was going around Venus. It was owned and is still owned by Z Labs, which is it's an Earther corporation. But things have changed in the galaxy, and it's been widely known that they and the She have had an alliance pretty much very early into the She coming into the galaxy. So that's been kind of known for a little while. Just some, I guess, things before we start. Just some things that your characters will probably know about this timeline. It's the year 2397. The rift has started to shrink. This is the thing that is causing some of these strange powers to be manifested in various people around the various places, the stations, substations, and worlds and moons. But as it's shrinking, there's tendrils of quantum energy that are lashing out from it, and this energy is very destructive. There's also these globes of changing and amoeba-like light that are floating around the edges of the rift. So there's lots of strange phenomena that are taking place. The She have established a colony on Ganjan with humans from Earth as slaves, essentially. Sisson is in control as a sort of puppet government, but Longbeer and his crew have learned that that's the case. It's basically just ruled by the She, and Jylan Wraith is the puppet leader. The She used the white hole energy coming from the rift to expand the sun, and it has now engulfed Mercury. So Earth is at the point where it is almost uninhabitable, unless you have some high level of technology to prevent being, I don't know. It's a very hellish sort of place now. Let's see anything else going on. You know that baby Chompers. Chompers was a Quay alien that grew up on the ship. His name is Theo. He sort of runs a Quay/Maverick mercenary group. And that's actually based on Venus, on the surface of Venus, that's been terraformed by Z Labs. So you kind of know that they're close by if things go bad or if you want to visit. Like I said, you're on that space station that's revolving around Venus. Anything else you know about the future here? A lot of the things we talked about in the last session have happened. Does anybody have any questions or anything before we start? Maybe I should do that.
I'd just like to add in. Here is a link to the World of Darkness dice roller.
Other kid six.
That'd be all.
All right. Is there anything else going on? You guys know that there's a group of Kizan sort of holy warriors out there. They've been having lots of propaganda and things show up. Kizan have gone missing, and they're kind of known under the name of Fanadar. So that's out there too.
How long have we had our new crew members on board?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I think Pond probably brought Kaz's head back pretty early on, so he's probably been with you for a while. And I don't know, Jason, how long do you think you've been with the crew?
Not very long.
Maybe a few months or a few weeks?
Whatever would make sense, but not. Yeah, a couple weeks probably.
Sounds good.
I guess our last salvage job or something. He was looking to escape with something or something.
Well, you had like the Shadow Dragon corpse set up, and maybe he being an ex-Ganjin, a Ganjin refugee, that's kind of how we thought he might come under your thumb. That you might have found him on some space stations.
Yeah, that works fine. That's
Sure. Yeah.
Once Bryce scans him, and if he's not trying to kill people, I don't care. Sure, we'll have to let him come in.
Just a couple other setting things. Titan was destroyed by an oxygen bomb, and the Accord was a Maverick group, a gang basically, and they've now joined with the Cogs. The Cogs are like the main faction of Mavericks, but the Hellcats and the Accord still do their own thing. So there's various factions of
Who leads
independent
the
Mavericks.
Cogs? Like, I mean, I know they don't technically have a leader, but
That's actually unknown at this point. There's sort of this shadowy figure that won't reveal him or herself.
Does the cartel know?
They don't even know, at least to your knowledge.
it's PO8, isn't it?
Just not yet.
There's other things going on in the galaxy too. The Shi have been jamming traditional communication, so that in the inner worlds, basically, telepathy is the only thing that works for communication. But a lot of Kizan have come up through the ranks in the last 6 years, and Bryce will get a chance to talk to them. Is there anything else going on? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happening, but we can get into that as we go.
I had a question just with as far as the Kaizen powers go.
Mm-hmm.
Did we decide whether would we have continued to gain Kaizen powers, or did we stop at the levels that we're at? Or
I think it's probably best to just stop at the levels we're at, because like Rick and I think Jason said, like, whoa, that's a lot of powers.
yeah, it's a ton of
Yeah.
powers. Yeah. Hey, let's play this 20th level character. Okay.
I have a question. Is there a way to keep this chat window up? Because, like, it's really small at the bottom of, it shows, like, all 5 of our logos, and then underneath it has the chat window, but it's, like, it only shows, like, the last 2 things people have said. Is there a way to, like, maximize that, or?
Do you see a small blue sort of... Well, in your... Oh, wait. No, that's probably not it.
Yeah, at the very bottom of the black line, if you put your cursor over it, you'll get an arrow up and down. Just left click and slide it up. You'll be able to see a little bit more.
Yeah, it's got 3 dots underneath where the mic and plus sign is.
Yeah.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to, really just, if you have a question, don't be afraid to blurt it out or put it down below, whichever you're more comfortable with.
Okay.
I took a lot of setting notes like this. Is there anything else here? Okay. The Earth Moon, nicknamed Luna, has actually been pulled from Earth's orbit, and it now revolves around Ganjin. In addition to that, they have pulled a bunch of icy asteroids from the asteroid belt, and those also revolve in a far orbit around Ganjin, aka Mars. So there's been some major changes. The Shi have been messing with the solar system in various ways, many of which you don't know about.
Oh, so Ganjin now has 4 moons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, well, actually, probably more than that now. Some of the asteroids are smaller than others, but they seem to have picked icy ones.
Oh, okay.
So they must be doing something with the water. You're not sure. Is there anything else? I think that's most of it. Okay. So, as we're going to start, you guys have, for some reason, decided to do some salvage on this old shipyard that used to be a very high production center of various ships for the Earthers. Now the Earthers are still there, but it's maybe like 1/10 of the production is coming out of it. It's slow. There are people that are guards there, but there's large sections of this enormous floating monstrosity of metal that has basically just been abandoned. So I guess you've somehow snuck up with your now cloaking technology that you've acquired for various leak sources. And you're probably still on the ship, preparing to disembark to go acquire some old ship parts or things like that. So it might be good to just have you guys in the I don't know, just getting ready to disembark, putting on your environmental suits, things like that. But yeah, I think we'll start.
This is going to be a manual job, like go out and grab something in particular.
I think whatever you think would be useful. We'll say that your ship has been pretty battered with various battles, and you're just basically looking for anything that you could use to repair and or modify your ship. Unless you guys have any other ideas.
No, I like it. I think longer would stay on the bridge.
Okay.
Monitor everything.
But we're going to start, and everyone is there, and go.
Hey, longer. Oh, go on.
No, sorry. You go first.
All right. Hey, Longbear. I'm about to head out.
All right. You got the full crew with you?
No, I figure I get a head start.
Well, make sure you take one of those modified bots with you for security. You don't know what else is out there.
I got it.
You're not waiting for Bryce?
Yeah, I'm almost suited up. I've got their interior sensors spoofed, so they shouldn't be able to, well, as long as they don't figure it out, they shouldn't be able to notice us running around down there. But if any of their ships fly by and I don't have a tap into their computers, then, well, we could be in for some trouble. So let's try and make this quick.
All right. Well, I have Dax on the bridge, so if you need to communicate through him, you can. Mentally, I guess. As a side, Dax is just one of the lieutenants, I'm assuming, that came up through the Corps, who's also a psionic.
Excellent. Good stuff.
All right, Theo, whenever you're ready, you can move out.
Heading out now. And Theo floats off into the void.
Out of curiosity, does Kaz require oxygen?
Yeah, that's a good question.
No, Kaz doesn't really require oxygen.
Very useful.
Yeah.
So probably something to protect his organics, but...
And maybe pressurization would still be important.
Yeah, pressurization is definitely still important, or else his eyeballs would blow out of his head.
So, is Kaz basically suiting up and hanging out with Zoo, I guess? Zoo?
Yeah, Kaz is he's got a little helmet that clips on to his actual body now. So he's just kind of throwing that on and locking it down.
All right. And to Shang, Zoo?
Yeah, so we'll just call him Shung, because that's like easier to say.
Shung. Okay.
With a G. Yeah, Shung. But like, I don't know. Where's he at now? He's just suiting up.
You're suiting up with Kaz.
Kaz.
The bot's body is basically putting locking things onto his face and trying to keep the skin from exploding when they go out into 0 Gs.
Is this the first salvage you've ever done?
In my current form, yes.
Your current form, what exactly do you mean by that?
I was once like you, once a man.
Really? I find that very hard to believe. What exactly happened to you, if I might ask?
Oh, she, they had experimented with me, tortured me, great discomfort, and they tried to end me, but my head was preserved.
Yeah, that's quite ghastly, if you don't mind me saying, but what exactly would the she want with somebody like you? I mean, if that's not, offensive to say.
Experiments. It's what they want to do with everybody.
Yes, I have heard of their very disgusting and horrifying means of getting their information, whatever they determine that to be. It's quite reprehensible, actually. So, I need your advice, if I may. I'm honestly not really in the way of doing things with my hands. You might need to give me a bit of guidance as we are out there. Work, it's not really my strong point. We'll just put it that way.
My new form allows me to carry maybe a few extra items without being weighed down too much. So I will be glad to help you.
Excellent. If you could just help me with this fastener here, I can't quite reach it. Excellent. Thank you.
And shall we head out?
Yes. Lead the way.
Catch up to Theo. And I'll also head out and jump into the realms of space.
Quite.
When you see Theo, he's going to have his arms folded behind his helmet, and he's in what would almost look like he was in a reclining chair, just floating out there.
The salvage crew is exiting the Kino right now.
Yeah, Bryce floats out behind the recent edition and Kaz, just sort of eyes scanning the periphery, rifle in hand. Theo, you know where. Well, you'll be able to best identify what we need, so maybe it's best you take point here.
With pleasure. I've been looking at her all night. Right this way, he points out to the rather damaged battleship ahead.
Yes, and the light and the brightness of the sun is very blinding. Venus itself seems to glow like a gem in the black void that is all around you. It's been rumored that the sun will be able to expand at some point to engulf Venus, and it'd be good to get what you can before it is no more.
Oh, as a reminder, guys, let's keep our sun flares on. Don't want no one getting blind.
Are we all linked by mic? Can we all hear each other?
Yeah, in your EV seats, you can see text as well as hear the words.
Oh, okay. One other thing is, what size is your ship?
Big.
Yeah, it's like a big
ship.
capital ship.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sorry, not that big. I meant a dreadnought, which is actually more of a cruiser size.
Okay, yeah, but it's not like a Millennium Falcon size thing. It's like a big capital ship.
We started on that, but we upgraded.
Yeah, it's got about 4 floors to it.
Okay.
We
What's
have
the
a
crew?
hydroponics bay and
Is it all
storage.
automated or?
It is for the most part, though. We probably have a decent sized crew now. So,
Okay.
maybe 9 or 10 people.
It used to house a crew of like I think it was like 30.
Yeah. So it was military, so they had Marines and stuff.
It has its own hydroponic space, so they can sustain food supplies and, various necessities with ease.
Mm-hmm. What about like passengers? Do you take passengers?
But the crew size now, we could definitely take passengers because
They
there's
could,
a lot of empty rooms.
but they haven't
Okay.
yet.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks.
With that, Theo just jets outward. His arms kind of outstretched as if he were flying, as his jets push him forward towards the large ship.
So you see Shung flying off in like completely the wrong direction, like he has no idea what the hell he's doing.
Shang, what the hell are you doing?
I hit this button here. I'm not really sure. It's the blue one.
That's your thrusters.
God damn it. Yeah. Okay. How do I get that turn around here? I'm actually getting far away here.
Theo completely stops and he reverses himself and then heads directly back to you. When he arrives at you, he'll put his hands on your shoulder. All right. Just calm. Is this your first time out in space?
Well, no, not exactly, but well, yes.
No, this is your first time spacewalking?
Yeah, yes. I didn't want to say anything, but
well, you
Thank
should
you.
have said something. I would have shown you a few pointers.
I can figure these things out. It's just this damn suit, all these buttons, they're not arranged properly.
It's okay. Everyone's first time's a little rough. And then he leans in close and he goes, "I will be gentle." And then afterwards he'll point to your suit and go, "All right, you see this panel here? This
Yes.
one's left, right,
Mhm.
diagonal, forward diagonal, lower half, upper half, suit, mid body, shoulder."
Okay, yes. No, I got it. Yes, and he hits his thrusters and like goes in the wrong direction again.
Oh, and then he just grabs it and goes, "How about you just not use the thrusters? I'll just carry you along with me."
Fine, I can stay in tow. It's just I can usually figure these things out myself.
It's okay. We got time, hopefully. Then he just
Bryce interrupts on comms. You'll be able to use soft mags once you hit the ground. Theo, get him over here quickly. We want to get this done and over with.
"Hey, I'm on it already," he says, and it just jets on over.
How was Kaz doing with the spacewalk?
Kaz is kind of jerking around a lot. He's not really too accustomed to his size yet. So, the thrusters are requiring a little bit more to push his new heavily body around, and he's kind of just getting used to it, so he's taking his time.
Off in the distance, as you're floating, you see the spiral spinning station, and it's in very much disrepair. A lot of the lights have gone out. They have these black spiked tendrils that shoot off for miles from the spinning core, and it seems that you've figured out your trajectory, that one of these spinning arms should be where you land. It's coming towards you from the left, seemingly moving at a very slow pace, but it's you know it to be deceiving. It's moving at quite some speed.
All right, everyone. Remember, fate first. Theo turns his body along with Shung's.
At the very least, helmets last, folks.
You know, in the past that hundreds of ships used to be docked here that were in mid-process of being created and designed and built, and now many of these docks are empty. There doesn't even seem to be any ships flying around doing security detail or anything like that, though on one of the tendrils it seems that there is some activity, but you've picked the one that's the furthest from that. So, you're floating forward. It's coming down to the time where you're going to land.
You're going to see Kaz come in, and even though he said feet first, he's still getting used to his mechanical self. And he's trying to adjust it so his feet are going to land, but for some reason his arms keep coming out. So he's pretty much coming down hard on his arms, mistaking them for his legs.
Bryce jets over and tries to help reorient him and make sure that his soft mags engage on the hull.
Thank you. It's all new to me. I'm still getting used to all this.
There was a strange ping on all of your audio equipment. It seems that the solar radiation levels are starting to tick up. Being exposed out here the way you are, without the protection of the space station.
All right. Heads up, fellas. We got a lot of rads coming in. Better make this quick.
It's moving towards you like a behemoth. The arms spinning towards your location. And you come crashing down into it.
Okay, so Shang, I think it was Theo that was hauling him, right?
Yep.
So he crashes into the back of Theo, and maybe like sends him, not tumbling, but kind of knocks him away, and he lands incredibly softly now that all of his force has been absorbed by Theo, and so he's just fine landing.
Theo just kind of he rights himself and just lands backwards and catches his bearings and looks back. Well, I guess that's one way of doing it.
Sorry.
We'll have to work on that.
Good to be back on terra firma, as it were.
Well, I guess if you call this chunk of steel terra firma.
Better than that free fall, I'll tell you that right now.
You don't like space that much?
I can't say that I do, but there's a first time for everything, they say.
Oh, I love it. And he just kind of jets along the surface.
You certainly have a way out in these parts. This thing is more suited for certain types of people than others.
I suppose. I've done this for a while.
Where are we off to?
You'll see a ping on your image layout, and it's it'll show you an augmented image that'll show up onto the visor screen of your EV suit, and it shows like an arrow going from your feet all the way over alongside the spine into a little hole where the arrow just dips into. It kind of just a little dot starts pinging there.
If it's all the same to you, I think I'll let you take the lead.
Already on it.
It's a little disorienting as you look from side to side. You can see the spinning planet of Venus beneath you. The orange and yellow swirling patterns of the atmosphere are there. And it's kind of hard to believe that at some point in the future that is going to be engulfed by the sun.
Veer to Theo.
Yeah, Longveer.
Theo, some of your crew are showing heightened adrenaline Are they okay?
That might be Shung. He's not really accustomed to this kind of stuff.
All right, that's to be expected, I guess. All right, if there's any other problems, just let us know. I'll keep you monitored. We also have your visual being recorded, so anything you need. The probes you sent out earlier are showing a lot of organic material, not masses of it, near that port you wanted to enter.
Gotcha. Well, we'll be entering in 1 minute.
Bryce is sort of busily ensuring in his head that the away team is mentally shielded in case we run into anyone with Kism, and also trying to bolster himself against any threats. And he just kind of scans the area for thought forms at the same time.
So, do they feel anything when this happens? Any sort of sensation?
I'm not sure they would. They might sort of feel as though there are some gears turning in their head that they just can't quite place. So, like, there's a thought running in the background behind their thoughts. It's sort of as though there's a sense of rhythmic ease in their subconscious that's rising.
You'll see as you're walking along that everything is bathed in bright light from the rays of the sun, and there's lots of damage. It seems that some heavy bombardment happened here in the past.
Hey, I want everyone to know to be on the lookout for any micrometeorites.
Is that what you think made these impacts?
I would only hazard a guess as it would be. I mean, with the increase of the sun, the gravity would have shifted tremendously, and who knows what material would be jetted all across. Well, whatever happened, it was still quite a number. He turns on the, he sends out a little tiny sphere that he pulls out from the belt of his ship. I mean, not his his EV suit, and he just lets it float forward, and it just illuminates and begins following him.
You'll also start to see strange organic patterns of growing material. I wouldn't say flesh, but this gray sort of scarred with like black lines. It's sort of propping up in various places as you walk.
Oh, I think these meteors might have brought some organic material with them.
We need to make sure none of this gets on the ship. It could corrode somehow.
Theo walks up to the substance and begins dumping visual feed. Hey, Longveer, can you match this up with anything we've seen in the database? I can't help but feel a strange sense of deja vu. This looks familiar.
Yeah, I'll run through the visual scanners right now. I wouldn't touch it yet until we can get a little. Let's see, it's coming up now. Yeah, it's very similar to some of the Quay Bio stuff that was on their vessels. I don't know why it's green though it's still coming up with a very very similar material.
Just to be clear, Tim, this stuff isn't thinking, is it?
There are no thought patterns emerging from the material.
Well, that's reassuring.
And to Jason, this is actually on the space station, the shipyards.
Yeah, I think what threw us was Phil said the battleship.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you made it sound like we could choose, so I was like, I just threw out the word battleship.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we were just
So
running.
the ship is like docked at part of the space station, or
You guys are close to it, and you basically launched yourselves out into space. It was spinning, and you landed on one of the arm sort of spikes that come out of the center of the cylinder that spins. It's actually on page 110 of the Battlefront PDF if you guys want to see a picture of it.
Let's take a look.
You know what they say, curiosity killed the cat. Just we go and find what we need, and let's not play around with stuff we don't really understand at this moment.
Yeah, Theo, that substance is very much like the Quay ship. It seems to be actually alive and moving. Seems to be actually taking over parts of the metal and door and breaking it down and converting it.
Excuse me, taking over? Can you please be a little bit more descriptive? What does that entail?
Well, it's a foreign material that is taking the metals and converting it into an organic material, a lot like nanobots would do. Though we don't know exactly how the Quay technology works, at least from a scientific point of view, we do understand what it does.
Are we walking like across this stuff, or is it like just various parts of the metal?
Well, why don't you describe it?
Okay, so he like sees one of these pockets, I guess, or like mounds, whatever it is that's eating through the metal, and he like tiptoes around it very carefully, not to touch it. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. I hope you all know what you're doing.
Theo picks up a bar sticking out, and he starts poking it and prodding it.
It pushes, and it has a sort of resistance as if you're pushing into rubber.
Yeah, Theo, it's only going to affect the thorium. I don't think our suits are not aligned with that, so it won't affect you at all. It seems to be almost like it's terraforming the metal. The ship
That's pretty fascinating. It wouldn't be. I think it'd be pretty cool to. Well, I would say bring some onto the ship, but I guess we ain't got proper containment procedures for that just yet.
Yes, that's. So you think it'd be pretty cool? Do you think it'd be pretty cool to poke it again with your stick?
He just shrugs his shoulders at you and looks over at you. What's the worst that can happen?
I don't know. One of us could be eaten alive by the stuff, perhaps.
That's what we got blasters for. And then he pulls out his.
Oh, good lord.
You'll see that a mound of this stuff is moving towards Kaz's leg.
Kaz is
quivering and sort of sponging along.
Kaz is gonna kind of I got thrusters or something, right? That can kind of jet me up in the air a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, Kaz definitely starts thrusting up at least 3 or 4 feet off the ground. He's trying to get away from it, slowly getting away because he knows what this will do to him. Keep it away. I don't want anything to do with it. No poking it. Leave it alone.
It separates into 4 smaller, roundish sections.
I have a very bad feeling about all of this.
Does it seem firmly affixed to the surface, or does it seem like it can float off and towards aerial targets?
I think probably the latter. That's an interesting suggestion. You'll see globules start to sort of float several inches off the surface of the platform where you're walking on.
Long, what's Ginu's composition?
Hold on a second. Oh god, yeah. He should back off a little bit. He has small amounts of thorium, so I'm not sure that's going to be in its armor.
Kaz, Theo, maybe we should probably get inside one of the vessels sooner rather than later.
Yes, get inside.
Theo walks over and starts swatting at the globules, batting them away from Kaz. It's like, all right, come on, let's go.
They go hurling off into the distance, flying at a pretty quick rate.
Shung is still using Theo as a meat shield.
Yeah, Theo, that access port is completely covered. That airlock. There is an access port just north of your position, about 50 feet. It's more of a mechanical entrance area, but you should be able to get in through there. I'm not detecting any organic environment there.
Bryce starts to pick up some thought symbols. They're very distant, though.
Does he have a sense to the direction?
You think it's in the location of where the civilized section of this place is, where the lights are coming from. You seem like you're like right on the edge of the broadcast range, I guess you could consider it as. They're very faint.
Captain, you may want to keep sensors on, or at least some of the sensor array on these coordinates. I'm picking up some activity.
Life form activity or mechanical?
She.
Right. Okay.
Can Bryce make out what any of the symbols mean?
I think you can make out some of them. What do you think they are?
I think that they're discussing it's something about an atmospheric injection. Of what? I'm not sure. It might remind him of the terraforming project, but it seems like it may be something slightly more of a weapon than that. Like there's aggression in the symbols. Really jagged fonts, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds fitting.
I don't think they're focused on us, but they're plotting something.
Ahead of you, you see that sort of door, the place you've been trying to get to, the hatchway. And it is covered with that material. There's rubberized, sort of black and green lines. That material.
All right, well, let's go for the alternative entrance. He begins to open up the latch, crawl his way down.
Is there any more that matter? Have you seen any near there?
What was that?
Have you seen any more that matter near the door?
No, this place seems clear of it. He begins looking around with the luminescent spear just floating around him. No, this one's clean.
All right, Kaz is going to start slowly coming back down. He's keeping a real eye out on where he's going to be landing.
You'll see as you go down the ladder, there's actually blood stains on the ladder itself, which seems kind of strange because you think anyone who would be here normally would probably be in an EV suit.
Does the blood look semi-fresh, or does it look like it's kind of dried up?
What do you think? Is it fresh or not?
Yeah.
It's fresh. You have another sort of beep that shows up on your EV suits. Radiation levels are somewhat higher.
So they're higher within than without?
It seems to be that's the case, actually, yeah.
These rads may not be coming from the star.
No, I think it's coming from the core.
The core? Wouldn't that be properly contained?
In normal situations, but we've seen how battered this ship is. I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that maybe one of the rad containment units has been broken.
You don't think there's been a meltdown?
He tips his head down, saying, "Oh, I really hope not." Well, if there was a meltdown, then those other guys on the other side wouldn't be here. At least I would think.
Well, assuming they're aware of the danger, yeah.
If they're not, serves them right. Fucking she. And he just zips on down.
As you zip around a corner, a horrific sight is there to greet you. Bodies of various employees have been torn asunder and they're hanging from chains in various places. But the low gravity has them sort of bumping into each other. Globules of blood are floating through the air.
What in God's name?
I've seen this work before.
Bryce just sort of is scanning the environment looking for signs of claw marks, if there are any, on the walls or ground.
Yes,
basically, he's trying to decide whether this is Quay work.
If they were Quay, they left no marks other than the bodies that you see. They don't seem like they were clawed apart as you look at the various wounds. They look like they were torn apart.
What on earth could do this sort of thing? This is unimaginable.
She could have probably done it.
She did this to me. Gone through this.
We've seen them wield similar weapons. It's sort of like a spear-like device. They can use it as a blade. Could have just as easily skewered these guys and split them apart.
You seem to have said that there's a weapon inside this EV suit. Am I correct in that? How do I access my weapon?
He points right at the holster onto your left.
Oh yes, that's. He's able to pull it out.
Just point it down or up, not forward.
Yes, I actually do know how to handle myself with a firearm, just because I'm
completely
completely incompetent.
Oh.
I was just switching off the safety. It's going to be okay.
You'll hear a voice chime up on the comms. Kaz, can you look a little bit further to the right there? I see something out on the monitor. Can you magnify that? Get closer.
Kaz walks up, moves, focusing on the right side there.
Do you see it there? That wrist there has been crushed.
Yes, I see it. Kaz is gonna reach down and pick it up.
Yeah, you see that the crushed, looks like perhaps even robotic hands might have done this. There's very sharp edges.
Yeah, I'm kind of spinning it around in front of my face and examining it closely.
Could this have been an Earther security system gone awry, or?
That's a strong possibility. Maybe there's some rogue AIs on this ship.
I can try and gain access to more of their systems, but I don't want to attract too much attention.
A line of lights will appear on the floor suddenly, illuminating the room in a red haze.
Although I worry we may have already attracted attention.
Oh, don't worry. It might just be something passing. Who knows?
You feel a sort of vibration through your soft mag boots.
What are the rad levels looking like? Are they increasing?
They are increasing somewhat, but it is increasing slowly.
Do you know what that is kicking on, Theo?
That sounds like that sounds like one of the core atmosphere generators.
You'll see a monitor flash into light nearby. There's this figure of what looks like a stylized mannequin with various sort of lines of color on her cheeks and her forehead and her face. And she seems to be speaking, but since there's no oxygen, you can't hear any sound.
Is there like does the light reveal any blood along its hands?
Well, on the monitor itself, there's some smeared fingerprints, but doesn't seem to be illuminating anything else.
Oh boy!
It seems to have a cheerful expression on its face, but it's kind of strange. You don't know why they would have picked something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it might be one of those servant bots I've heard a lot about. You know, the ones that they dress up like maids.
Are there, is there any cabling that, or jacks on it that could be used as audio outputs?
Sure. You want to plug in?
Yeah. Bryce has kind of, well, he has cabling for his microcomputer threaded through these sealed grommets on the back of his helmet, or the back of his suit. So he pulls out an appropriate one and starts splicing in.
And as soon as he does, sound fills his helmet and can be heard through the rest of you. Welcome! You have been chosen as the crew of this particular vessel. Do you have any designation codes you would like to establish? The head sort of cocks at like a 45-degree angle and the eyes open twice as large as a human's could.
I think that what Bryce will do is, if there's also an audio input or whatever, or any sort of input on this panel, he'll filter through a long string of characters, just something he thinks is going to be secure, and save it in the memory bank of his microcomputer for use as the code.
Code has been accepted. Thank you. Do you have any parameters you would like to establish into our database?
First, I would like to view the database and ascertain possible functions of the station.
Database is currently empty. Would you like to fill it?
Not at this time.
Why are you so hesitant? Should I change my voice?
Assume standby.
Need further input. Please continue speaking.
Know that this is the best time to be giving that crazy thing input.
Oh, we don't know if it's crazy just yet. It just might be lost. A lot of the times these AIs might wander around aimlessly until someone gives them any orders.
Are these other users that I need to enter into the database? Pick codes, please.
Theo then just says out loud, 004000.
Crude, but accepted.
Okay. He just kind of shrugs his shoulder at Bryce.
Bryce has begun kind of opening a panel on the wall to see if there are more possible areas that he can splice into and gain more information about the system. Assuming he's only found the jacks that they put in for regular access, he'll want something a bit deeper than that.
Yeah, the only ones you see are basically for regular users at this point.
He'll cut it. Oh, is his laser optic modulated in such a way that he can fire it through the screen of his helmet without, say, melting it?
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah,
So
it's got augmented projection.
he'll try and just cut a hole in the panel where he figures there will be some good access.
Is there a reason you are not using the vocal monitoring computer? Why are you using this direct?
Thorough diagnostic is prudent. There may have been damage to the systems, and it needs maintenance.
Are you suggesting that I am damaged in some way? The head sort of cocks at the other 45-degree angle, and the eyes sort of narrow to slits.
No,
I
who
am
could possibly
checking to
suggest
ensure
that?
you are not.
Still awaiting other users' passwords. I am getting impatient.
Hey, just for a little reassurance, what happened to previous crew?
That information has been erased.
Well, that's just perfect, isn't it?
By whom?
I thought that it was you. Are you here to reprogram me?
He looks over at Bryce. What do you think?
Unsure. The situation needs to be assessed. He's splicing in as quickly as possible, and once he does have enough bandwidth, he'll just try and start piecing together what the purpose of the system was and recovering any data that might be buried.
Unit, remain on standby as we proceed forward.
That was already suggested, and I am sorry that cannot happen.
Why not?
Because?
Because why?
You'll see the monitor goes out. And all the red lights in the hallway turn off.
There's an old saying on my planet, don't stick your conduit in crazy.
That may have been wise. It's a little late for now.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll there, Alex?
Okay.
Trying to hack into it, right?
Any penalties?
Oh, let's see here. How about 6?
Okay. This is the sort of situation where he might spend willpower. Sorry for the noise. Okay, he has at least 5 successes. At least 6 successes.
All right, it seems that this was some sort of defense matrix that has been wiped, but it's trying to figure out what it's supposed to do. And you think, given enough time, it might remember its original purpose.
Oh, so it's been wiped, but there are still fragments there?
Yeah, sort of pieces of data that could be brought together to make it understand what its purpose is.
Is it sapient? Does it look the same way Pawn did when he could access Pawn, or is it more of a pure AI construction?
I'll leave it up to you.
I think that it's just programmed with patterns that look very insistent. So what Bryce is going to do is he's just going to wipe it.
You'll see the lights flash on briefly, the monitor flashes on, and the lights of the mannequin face are wide open, and then it just all shuts off.
Okay. Sorry, that seemed like the safest option.
Oh, that's fine, Bryce. Hey, we'll at least grab her up, too.
Is there any way we could pull any possible data off of her to see what might have been programmed in her?
I can't see why not.
Yeah.
The looks of the remains, it seems a bot would definitely be a good accuser of what has happened to these people.
Unless she had gotten a little bit more creative in how they kill.
I can do some digging in the records. Her actual AI system has been obliterated, though. I didn't want her poking around at the records herself.
Wise move. Now we could just reprogram her and have ourselves a new bot.
You all have this strange sensation of falling, and then it goes away.
Theo, was that a gravity distortion?
Yeah, I think so. But it was in the opposite. It's like a repulsion.
We need to figure out what that system below us is.
I concur. He opens up a latch and starts crawling inside. Yeah, it seems like the tunnels here are wide enough for everyone to get through. In fact, he'll start pushing down, and a latchway just falls completely through. Oh, there you go. We got a hole big enough for everyone, and he just falls all the way through down to the bottom.
Excuse me, but am I the only one here who thinks that crawling through the creepy haunted house ship of horrors is a bad idea?
Hey, look, it's Salvage. Everything's going to be creepy sometimes. It comes with the job.
If we're lucky, we'll be salvaged.
That is some of our fate sometimes.
Look at me. I've been salvaged. And I jump in after Theo.
He'll pat you on the shoulder, Kaz, and be like, yeah, and look at him. He's all shiny now.
Good as new.
Theo, I'm gonna stick around up here and see if I can recover data and, well, make sure no one comes in the hatch we did.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm staying with you.
Alright, sounds good, John.
Good. Alright. Come on, Kaz.
Yeah. What are we looking for? What do we need?
There's some sort of generator down here. It was moving around. It has to be some sort of tunnel that it's orbiting around. Sometimes they use that for the controlling of the gravity repulsion. It's based on the theory of gyroscopic gravity creation. It was sort of an older system before grav drives were installed.
Let's keep our eyes peeled, though. After that scene up there, it just brought back a lot of memories, what I went through.
You and me both.
Gets me worried.
That new body doing you well?
It's not what I would prefer. I prefer my old self, but I can deal with this until I get my revenge on the She for all they've done to me.
As we're walking down, he'll look over at you. Hey, you ever have any phantom limb?
Get a phantom itch.
I know I do with my left arm.
Sometimes I feel like I have a pulled muscle, but I don't know what it is. It's the oddest feeling in the world.
I might be able to fix that. It's usually easily fixed in the nerves. It kind of just gestures towards the back of your neck.
Yeah,
that nail gets that a lot.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not tight enough in back there. You know, the whole spinal column and all.
Well, a little tweaking wouldn't hurt. And then
you could also take a look at. I'm having a lot of trouble controlling everything as well. I don't know if it's just me getting used to it or not.
He stops in place. What do you mean?
Oh, sometimes I'll go to move my arm and it'll be my left leg that moves. Or it's just sometimes some things just I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to get used to it still, and it's just difficult.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, since I've been in this body.
Oh, you just say anything to anybody?
You know, no. I thought it was just something I need to overcome on my own.
Theo begins shaking his head and walks away. You should have said something earlier. This could have been disastrous. We'll have a look at you as soon as we get back to the ship, all right?
Alrighty.
And with that, Theo walks down this corridor, and he'll come up to the side of this panel, and he'll begin feeling his hands around it. Yeah, this is it right here. This could take us straight to the inner core here. Kaz, you mind opening the door?
No, not at all. Kaz will walk up. We'll get a firm place on it, and he'll push it in. Maybe a little too hard.
That's perfect. As soon as that happens, you see this massive red light swoop by, and it kind of just knocks the door away.
Kaz quickly pulls his arms back. Does that look like the same light we saw up top?
Mm-hmm. Looks like we found it.
All right.
I wouldn't bother entering in here, though. It looks like it's on a rotation, and the corridor itself is like perfectly tubular and round. And as the red light kind of glows off into the back. This is going to be tricky. You wouldn't want to be maintaining these things while this thing is still running. You'll have to turn it off somehow. Hey, Bryce.
Yes, dear.
This core is still active in here. That's the red light that we've been seeing. It looks like it's been spinning around here. It's responsible for the gravity. Can you shut it off somehow? There should be some subroutines responding to it in there.
I have one question before you ask me to do that.
Yeah?
Will the people on the limb out yonder recognize that's what happened?
That depends if they're connected. Do you have any way of confirming that they're still connected with the sensors inside of here?
Oh, I wasn't meaning by sensors. I was just wondering if there's some sort of alert. I can spoof sensors. Sensors I can deal with.
Oh, that's what you mean. There might be a slight tug, but, like we felt one earlier, so I assume that they might be accustomed to it, if this is an ongoing thing.
It'll be the same, shutting it full stop off?
No, not full stop. No, we do it gradually. Just slow it down, using this equation here, basically by 5 miles every minute or so. That's the only way we can do this without doing a huge alert. So if we stopped it completely now, we would go flying. Well,
yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Theo. Clarity helps there.
He just looks over at you, Kaz, and just shrugs his shoulders.
Bryce turns to Shang. This'll take a little longer, but we can keep each other company while I figure this shit out.
Just let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Not much use, but can make good conversation, I suppose.
Well, just keep your eye out for anything. I know it's not pleasant looking at all the floating corpses, but if it makes you feel any better, I mean, to have someone to commiserate with, I'm not a fan of Venus myself.
Yes, they don't include this sort of thing on the travel brochure. That's for certain.
There's a lot they don't include. Bryce is just going to focus on sorting that out and make idle small talk.
Okay, Shung's gonna just keep his pistol, not trained on anything, but just out, and he's gonna be just kind of moving around the room slowly, keeping his eye on things.
Bryce, what level was that mannequin on?
Level?
Yeah, was it on the same level that we're on right now?
Are you meaning the actual computer core rather than the terminal?
No. The machine, the robot we were talking to, that AI.
Yeah, I think it's on the same level.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, we're gonna go fetch it. Come on, Kaz.
Kaz follows.
You'll see a pleasure after some travel time. Pleasure bot that looks like a mannequin that's all painted up in bizarre colors is sort of slumped in a chair. There's a port hatch on her left arm that's been opened, and there's various wires that are jacked into the system. She's covered in about, like an inch of dust on her legs.
Oh, looky here. This is an OK62 model. Haven't seen one of these since I was 14.
Would be any use to us.
Nah, we could still get stuff out of him. Then he just picks it up and hands it to you.
Kaz kind of like shakes it up, trying to get some of the dust off of it.
You notice the dust float around seamlessly, kicks up everywhere, kind of bounces off the suits.
You'll see a bunch of large containers that are in this room as well, and they all have locks on them.
Oh, hello. What's all this? Theo begins scanning the containers. And inside he'll look around and see, this is metallic hydrogen. We got batteries here, Kazuko. That's not help. He starts stacking them up on top of each other.
Kaz is looking around for some sort of he's gonna look around for a bag or something to carry this stuff in to bring back with us. A box, even a crate.
Well, you have the containers themselves, which are pretty large, but Kaz's body would be able to pick them up without a problem.
All right. Yeah, Kaz will just tell him, let's empty out one container, Theo, and we'll start stuffing what we can in one.
Good idea.
Theo, I just thought I'd let you know I'll be commencing gradual shutdown in about 10 seconds. It should, in order to make this gentle enough, I'm thinking it'll take 9 minutes, 36.
That's fine. Take as much time as you need. The more gradual, the better.
We come across some supplies down here as well, so we're gathering those up.
As you're making your way across, looking around, you see most of them are batteries, but one of the containers has about 4 pleasure bots just piled up on top of each other in there.
Theo just looks inside. Yeah, more spare parts. I like it. This is a T-31 model.
That's right. And the head sort of juts upward at an angle and looks at you.
Oh, you're still functioning?
Yes. Within reasonable parameters.
Huh.
How may I be of assistance? Are you hungry?
No. If you haven't noticed, there is no breathable atmosphere. I'll kind of take his finger and kind of swirl it around to kind of illustrate that.
The top half of the bot pulls itself out of the box. It seems like it was damaged somewhat, torn in half. It's dragging itself over to you.
He'll kneel down.
It sort of props itself up on the palms of its hands, and its torso sort of swaying underneath.
Do you have any memory of what happened to you?
There were intruders.
Describe them.
They rolled in here and tore my owner.
What did they look like?
Mostly tracks that rolled with arms.
Tracks that rolled.
That stuck out from the sides.
They were machines?
Yes. I tried to save him, but the arms tore me away.
Were these machines about the size of I, or bigger?
Your height. They seem to have grav tracks on the edges of their... They rolled in here and took them all.
Theo, it seems that somebody's in control of bots doing work for them.
I'm trying to think of the model that would be. I think I heard something about one of these things. What was the name?
They seem to be miniature version of juggernauts from Earth, modified with AI technology.
Not surprising. Are they still present on board?
I don't know. I've been in the box for years.
I see.
I managed to drain the life source of the other ones to keep sustaining myself.
How much battery power do you have left?
10%.
He'll look over at you, Kaz. Hey, you mind opening up one of your spare cases?
Oh, not a problem.
He'll walk over and pull out one of the spare batteries and heads over to her. And then underneath her chassis, he'll begin latching the wires to it, powering it back up. There, that should give you at least 50% extra.
My owner called me Sadie. Do you have
Sadie?
another name for me?
Oh. Sadie's fine.
Theo.
Yeah?
Maybe we should bring Sadie with us. Bring her back. She might have more information.
I was thinking the same thing, Kaz. He picks her up and wafts her over his back.
I don't see any rankings.
What do you mean rankings?
You are soldiers, correct?
Nope. I guess we are rebels. Whatever.
You are not from...
Was your previous master a soldier?
Yes, they all were. How did you get this far? You should have been killed.
The political landscape has changed in the many years that you've been inside that box. Most of the Earthers have moved to Gonjan and the like. It's all well and good. Look, I'll update you on that later, but for right now, we gotta go find your big sister. Bryce, how's that shutting down process coming along?
Give me 3.5 minutes, and we should be through with it. Have you felt anything so far?
Yeah, I've been feeling these tiny little tugs. Everything's getting a little bit lighter, so to speak. It's looking good. Excellent job, Bryce.
Okay, hopefully that feeling is mostly centralized on this area, and out on the limbs they shouldn't notice.
Yeah, Longbeard, how's everything looking out there?
Everything's fine as of right now. Looks like you guys are working your way through fairly well. Have you salvaged anything worth keeping?
We've come across a few supplies that definitely come in handy, some batteries and such.
Hey, I got a whole bunch of pleasure bots.
Theo.
What?
Bring aboard.
Look, I don't mean to interrupt your orgy down there, but some of that terraforming goop has begun to make its way inside the chamber here, so I'm just letting you know.
Oh, crap. Thank you for keeping us appraised, Chung.
Throw one of the bodies on it.
Throw one of the bodies on it. I'm not touching those.
We'll deal with it in a minute. It's not... How fast is it moving?
As fast as goop can move, I suppose?
Let's hope.
I'm gonna need to find another way out of here, guys.
Don't worry. We got that covered. And Theo kind of reveals a whole pack of, explosives.
That won't be necessary. There is another access portal this way. And the arm sort of points over towards the back of the large room that you're at.
Oh, why, thank you, Sadie. Don't worry, guys. We just found another access port.
You got me out of the box. It's the least that I can do.
Say, how would you like to have a new home? Are you good with kids?
I could be reprogrammed. Unless you want them pleasured.
No. Just, I'll fix that later.
I would be willing to undergo reprogramming, as long as my central personality is not affected.
Oh, don't worry. We'll keep everything about you the same. Just your programming will be changed.
I am trained in acupuncture.
What the hell's that?
Perhaps I'll show you sometime.
Theo, your shutdown is complete. We should be at a full stop for that component.
Alright, just wait a few seconds. The natural spinning of the station will resume gravity control. And that'll become our new gravity source. You'll just feel a slight tug inward. And then it should stabilize.
Good to know.
If you need some pass cards, you can look there in the second drawer down. My master kept several of them.
Pass cards, eh? Let's see here. Ooh, nice.
You'll see the same picture and 6 different IDs, all with different names and different levels of security bypassing.
Wow.
One of them has blood smeared on it.
He'll begin to wipe that one off as the flakes begin to just jet off into the atmosphere. Was this one your master?
Yes, they all were.
Oh, they all were. Oh. Yeah, never mind.
Shung, how are we on that ooze front?
It's advancing. I'd say, well, we have some time, but just don't take all day down there playing with your toys.
Well, why don't you try warding them away a little bit? Experiment.
Maybe I should poke it with a stick. Is that what you're saying?
If it
No,
works,
that's
it
been
works.
tested.
So he walks around the room and finds some kind of spare junk made of metal, picks it up and gingerly tosses it onto the terraforming goop, and just kind of like sizzles and just slowly, very slowly kind of sinks into it like there's no bottom to this pit of ooze. And it seems to slowly, or it seems to advance, or it seems to halt the progress because it's busy digesting this metal.
You'll see the mounds that are on the edge of it sort of tumble inward towards the metal.
Okay, I'll try and finish salvaging the data here, but Theo, what's our next step?
Well, our next step is going to be taking everything that ain't bolted down. But let's go for the main computer core systems, as well as data storage, batteries, check, components, check. Let's see here, what else do we need?
Well, if we're taking the data storage, then I can recover it later.
Yeah. Oh, I intend on taking everything.
Alright. Let's get to unfastening. Shang, do you have any engineering experience?
A little bit, just studies in school, not much practical knowledge, I'm afraid.
Do you know how to use this decoupler?
I might be able to figure that out if you give me a minute.
Well, then you may be able to help speed things up.
So he goes over there and, what is it you want me to do here?
We're just trying to separate the systems. We can cut power with these cables here, so it shouldn't be any risk to you.
All right.
Theo, we're tackling this room first. That ooze is, well, it's uncomfortably close.
Oh, don't worry, we have another access port that we can go out of.
Our new companion friend down here has been quite helpful, actually.
Use the blue one. That'll get you access.
See? Helpful.
The blue what?
Access card. Hold on, he'll jet over to where the corridor is, the hole that he leaped down, and he'll kind of have his light flashing for you to come over to it.
Bryce just kind of sets down the tool he was working with and gingerly steps over to the edge of the hole.
Just as you do, see a little blue card floating gently upwards.
Huh. Well, I guess we won't have to force any more of these panels open. Assuming the system still accepts it. That's engineering clearance, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't know. He used it for a lot of things. He used the orange one sometimes and the red one, but only occasionally.
Bryce picks it up, takes a quick swipe of it across the, as though he's just waving it in front of the wall here, and panels start jerkily sliding open as though they haven't for many, many years, but revealing all sorts of equipment.
You'll see a similar face, but it's sort of like a program version of a mannequin face. Looks like it's actually Sort of like how Pawn was on the ship.
Bryce hands the card down to Theo and looks up at this thing.
Greetings, General. How may I be of assistance?
We're assessing systems. In order to do so properly, we'll require a full shutdown.
Are you Are you aware, General? Wait, you don't look like the General. Have you gone under modification again?
Yes, the situation has evolved.
I like your new look. It's different. Exotic.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry. There's a matter of some urgency. We'll need you to shut down.
Should I save your files in the virtual reality program?
Yes, please. Thank you. It's very considerate.
They are saved. I know you spent a lot of time there.
Well, I may have to again soon enough. A stressful situation. If you could help expedite processes, that would be most appreciated.
Is there an order to shutting down? Would you prefer life support systems first?
Are any still active?
Yes. On Spire 427. Quite active.
We'll leave those on for now, but all local systems, at the very least, should remain in low-power standby.
Excuse me, General. Your voice pattern seems to have been changed. Should I set this voice pattern to modify all programs?
That would be appreciated. Again, the years have been rough.
And define local. Do you mean just this spire or the entire station?
Can you put on view screen what systems are powered?
You'll see a hologram that starts to generate right in front of you. There's a projector above and below. And you'll see the entire shipyard. And only that one spire seems to be lit up for the most part. Though you see a little bit of flashing where you are now.
Bryce turns to Theo and says, Lieutenant, you may want to look at this. With, kind of pleading eyes.
He glances up, like, alright, this jet's up there.
I was curious, General. I'm setting things on lower standby status, but did your plan work? Were you successful?
We've had several plans. Which do you refer to?
Your latest one, of course. File 323.
The latest one logged here. Just a moment. I'll update my status on that if I can. He is sort of...
I'm surprised that you're
right
with
now
others at this point.
At least internally, kind of panicking, but he's beginning to splice in to the computer in the same way he did before. I require more rapid access. Again, this is a matter of some urgency.
Have you modified yourself with the DNA?
Well, there have been some modifications, but they weren't precisely as planned.
I
I'm
figured
sorry,
that there was little to no need for power. It seems that many of your test subjects did not survive.
That's the unfortunate truth of it.
Or was that your goal? I'm sorry, I'm being too questioning. I'll be here whenever you need me. It's nice to talk to you again, Captain.
And you.
I mean, General.
he just continues splicing in and sees if he can crack into these files and figure out what they are. What this plan, what was it, 343?
323.
323 is?
You'll see that the general seems to have lots of files that he received from locations on Earth. And you start to see a familiar pattern with the genetic modification from a certain person that you knew in the past.
Oh. So, is there any overt link to Sisson?
It's not written in capital letters anywhere, but if you had to suspect, yeah, you think that the Earther Spy Network has their fingers involved here. Seems like there was a plan to modify the DNA of every soldier that was on board.
Okay. Bryce, at this point, is going to make certain that the AI isn't listening. Perhaps he'll deactivate for a moment, or close the panel or whatever, and he'll contact Captain Long again. Long, it seems that there are still systems operating here. This ooze that was on the outside is kind of encroaching on this area, though, so I'm not sure what we can do about, well, what we can do from in here for long. And if I shut down the system, then the whatever life forms are on that limb out there will probably take note. So I need to know what the judgment call is here. If I shut down the system, we can start harvesting it and pull out the information later. If I don't, well, we might not have this opportunity again.
Well, we're approaching the 45-minute mark. We were supposed to only do an hour. How long is it possible to do a data dump? Straight to the Okina?
I would need to be transmitting over a very large bandwidth, and that I can't spoof sensors regarding that amount of information. It would be much simpler if we could just pull the drives and take it.
Oh, I can get those drives out in no time.
Yeah, the question is whether we want to risk alerting whoever's on that limb.
Don't worry, they'll never know what happened.
Can we save them for last? Pile on what we can? I have the Senkan just waiting out there for whoever you're going to bring the stuff out.
Have it wait near the access port, and he'll flash that onto the screen.
All right. I transfer the information to it now. She'll move in. Yeah, I say that's the last thing we grab, and then we'll pull the data off. Is the data worth it, from what you can tell?
It's just very detailed. It depends on what you would like to know about the operations here.
Is it Earthed or Gungeon, or what information are we looking at?
Earther, Sisson.
Oh, yeah, we definitely needed that. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it up to you. If you and Theo think you can pull them out quick enough, I'll just have the ship ready to jump.
I'm going to see what systems that the people on that limb are currently accessing and shut down everything else gradually, and we'll pull it out.
Yeah, Dax is telling me that there is no heavy searching, so they haven't even spotted us as of yet, so the cloaking field's working. Doesn't seem to be anything moving towards you as well.
Well, that's good, but as soon as their systems start going down, they'll know that something's going on.
Maybe a ship-wide malfunction. to shut down the entire thing, then they'll have to try to figure out what the hell's going on. That'll also block the doors, right? Or are they going to auto lock?
I can arrange that.
Yeah, I say we pin them in their area, and if they have a ship, they'll have to try to find us, which is practically impossible. So that should give us the time that we need to get the drives off and back, get you all back safely to the Okina.
All right.
Unless you have a better idea, I'm open.
No, that's the one we're gonna have to go with. Again, the room is getting a little our floor space is going to run out.
It's not. Yeah, I got nothing on the tech area that shows you're not carrying anything that can push that away. If you have organic material, it will slow it down.
So Shang kind of sighs, and he pulls out like a vibro knife or whatever he's got on him, and tries to cut down some of the bodies.
Yes, they sort of unleash themselves, and sort of they're floating, bumping into each other.
He kind of coaxes, a couple of them down, and tries to get them to stop moving around and form some sort of dike or some sort of barrier.
Thank you, Shang. You're doing good work.
Anytime you want me to grapple with dead bodies, I'm happy to oblige.
Noted.
You'll see that the soldiers don't seem to have any marks or ranking, but they are wearing sort of standard Earther uniforms.
So Bryce starts shutting down systems that he doesn't think the people on the limb will notice, and indicating them to Theo for him to pull them out.
At this point, Longbeard starts to get some pings on his sensors. There seems like there's things coming from the surface of Venus towards your location. Ships.
Are we picking up a classification for the ship or size?
Since the arrival of so much cloaking tech, you'll get sort of error messages, and that is the only warning you get of ships approaching these days. And that's the kind of message that you're getting.
Okay.
Sort of distortions in the sensor readings.
Here to Salvage crew, we have incoming vessels. It'll probably take them at current speed 10 minutes to reach us. Is that enough time to finish your work, Bryce?
Well, shit, a lot of that's up to Theo. How fast can you rip these things out?
Theo mumbles something about doing it way faster if you left him alone, and you can see him speedily just ripping things apart.
Okay, Kaz, if you could help with that, I'll.
Well, I'm actually grabbing whatever I can find for cordage, wrapping it around the container. Trying to secure it from the bottom and the backside of it, and strapping it onto my shoulders. And I'll head. I'm not really gonna head up there because of that matter, so I'm not going near that. I can start heading out.
You'll see Sadie starts to walk on her hands and dragging the battery behind her with the cords that are attached to her.
Can Bryce tell whether the system on this station recognizes that there's anything incoming, or whether any ships have been coordinated by the station to go back and forth from Venus' surface?
So you're basically looking at all the data. Is that what you said? Sorry.
He's doing a very quick look as he shuts other systems down.
You do know that they sometimes have ships that go back and forth from their base that's on the Venus surface.
Nothing scheduled?
Nothing scheduled, though.
Okay. Well, let's hope it's not one of theirs. He basically at this point he signals everyone and says, "We're down to only the systems that people on that limb will notice if I rip out. So, are we prepared to make our run?"
I'm already heading towards the other access point that Sadie has offered.
Okay. Computer, I'm afraid we're going to have to initiate all emergency locks, and I will have to, well, relocate systems. Shut down afterwards immediately, please.
Understood. Do you want to take the remote access portal with you and the little sort of metallic disc? It's like looks like some sort of handheld device pops out about waist level.
Yeah, sure. Sounds like a good idea.
That way you can access me wherever you want.
Excellent. But I'm going to have to disable its throughput from you to it initially, because we don't want it being tracked. Again, this is a dire situation here.
Understood,
There will
General.
be no comms from it at this time. All right.
And you want me to engage those locks now?
I can engage them. Just a moment. Bryce pokes around the system, and just as long as she gives him access, he will do so himself. If he can figure it out.
Sure, General. If you want to do it manually, that's fine. What about the suppression gases? Should I use the ones that you lace with genetic material?
No. Again, the experiments have not been working out as planned. I'm sorry. If you could just leave those in storage, perhaps we will be able to retrieve them later.
Bryce, when you're done playing with her access points, this ooze is getting critical. It's now climbed up over or made its way across the corpse barrier and is pretty much on top of us.
Bryce basically yells, "Immediate shutdown," and if that doesn't work, he'll manually shut off the machine.
Okay, things shut down.
Begin helping to rip the thing out. If he needs to, he'll fire a laser to sever anything that is.
I'll come over and help you get it out.
Thanks. Let's see if we can fit it down the hatch.
How big is that? Is it? It's like you said it's like a remote access, or what is it?
We're taking the whole system. Thankfully, it's like there's practically no gravity, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Well, then Shung just helps you kind of finish, severing the connectors or whatever, and helps you steady it.
All right, Theo, the whole system's off. We've got everything out, right?
Almost everything. I want to try to get the gravity core out.
You're going to take the whole gravity core?
Yeah.
Well, it would be useful. Shit, can we...
Oh, there's an access port that allows us to take the whole core out. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do proper maintenance on it.
No, that makes sense.
It lines up with the access port that we're going to leave out of.
All right. I'll get this stuff loaded on the shuttle if you want to disconnect that then.
In all
Don't
of your
worry.
heads, you start to see these blue light images of various symbols that start to flash in your mind's eye. It sort of seems to reside like behind your eyes. It sort of clouds your vision. Like everywhere you look, you'll see these symbols.
Hopefully the mental shielding will work.
What is that? Oh,
You haven't seen the she yet, have you?
no, I haven't, and I was hoping never to see them.
This is how they talk. Or, Can Bryce make any of it out?
There seems to be some confusion. There's questions about something happening.
They're in a panic.
Prepare the defenses. Why aren't the defenses working?
This is what we expected, and we may have just helped the Quay out a great deal. I have a feeling that's what's coming out from Venus.
Tamari Yao Jiankui, Shoubuliao, Shoubuliao.
It's all Shibuya here, isn't it? Not knowing what that means, he just is shoving stuff down the hatch and trying to float it in the appropriate directions.
Long of your sensors start to pick up some sort of weapon or fire. It seems like undulating plasma that's coming from the distortions, and it's headed right towards the station.
Towards the station.
Mm-hmm.
Bearded Salvage crew, immediately you need to get off that thing. The vessel, the station itself is being assaulted. There's several, 3 or 4 vessels firing upon it.
Oh, look, just give me a minute. I almost got it.
I can't stop plasma bolts, Theo.
Oh, don't worry. The ship can take a few hits. She's a tough old bird.
Yeah, they're not firing on the Okina. They're firing on the space station, the shipyard.
On the space station, yeah. You notice that Anel's the shuttle is just outside the docking area, so you can shoot right over to it. She's set up on orbit that's elliptical with that.
Honey, you all right down there? You want me to come pick you up?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We'll be coming out in just a little bit.
You know you're getting fired upon right now.
Nothing usual.
Bryce is in the back of the shuttle securing these computers so they don't get buffeted around too much. Anel, your husband's very ambitious.
You better hurry up.
With that, you see like the inner doors within that port door open up, and you see this massive sphere just float gently outwards. All right, Kazuko, attach the line to it.
Yeah, Kaz attaches the line. He's gonna start pulling it in towards the and he's unloading that container as well.
And as soon as it gets attached, he hops inside. Oh, that's quite the haul. All right, let's go.
At this point, the plasma barrage starts to hit the station. You'll see some of the spires are now floating free of where they were moored, sort of twisting and turning out into space.
Sean, let's get in and buckle up.
I heard that.
You'll see that one of the distortions seems like it's making its way towards the ship, the Okina. And then more plasma starts to erupt out of the front of it. And then the cloaking shields seem to be turned off, and 4 Quay life ships can be seen, just massive. They make the Okina look small.
We need to hurry.
Immediately, Veer gets on the comms and begins speaking in Quay. And waits for a reply.
You'll see the plasma barrage just evaporates. It was headed towards the Okina.
I immediately drop the cloaking field so that they can see us, and then power up the weapons so they know that we have weapons. Beard turns and looks at the processor to see actually what he said, as he said it faster than he could actually comprehend. Forska Eris
Longbeard, I think you put a little bit of in your ear.
Sorry, Theo, I'm not great at this. This used to be Kaz's position.
You'll see the Quay life ship rejoins the others, and they start firing further into the station.
As soon as the shuttle has docked, we will start moving away from all the action that's going on so that they don't go overzealous and shoot us out of the sky as well.
You'll see a bunch of Maverick ships, which you assume are Maverick. There's a bunch of Earther Tech, ex-Gonjan, but older vessels are starting to pour out of the side of one of the life ships, and they're taking their turns pot-shotting the various spires of the space station.
Excellent.
Such a waste of all that stuff.
It's a bit of a shame, but...
There could have been a lot of clothes on there, too.
The problem is Quay, you know how they are with the she tech at all.
One of the life ships careens into another one, and they both explode.
Oh. Are those lifeboats or actually ships?
They're giant living vessels.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so like they're colony vessels?
Yeah, like colony vessels. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, one of those just crashed into another one?
Yeah, two of them are now a giant debris field.
We hard scanning for any, life. We know that the Quay can survive in the atmosphere, so is there anything alive that we can pick up and try to save?
There's lots of burning. You're all sort of bombarded by like a temporary white light that seems to reside within your skulls, but Bryce's protection seems to kick in and it fades away.
All right. With that, I'm just going to engage the drives to go to our next jump point as soon as the shuttle's on board.
We're back on the ship, right? All of us?
Yeah, basically, and Nell just flew into the docking bay and kind of crashed into the air.
So Shung, he falls over with the bright light, and he's just vomiting. I think he's out of his suit now. If not, then his suit just got messy.
Oh, man, I'll have to clean all that up.
Well, we're all going to have to go through full decontam anyway, Theo. That stuff...
Yeah, that doesn't make it any... Yeah, I got you.
I'll help you.
I'm unloading the containers and putting everything where it belongs. Organizing it where it'll be easily accessible when we need it. All the batteries and everything.
There seems to be this strange warping of space around the station, and it sort of pulses outward. It rocks the side of the Okina, sending everyone to the ground. You'll see spires of the station, or some of them are breaking off and shattering under the pressure, but it hits the ships, and it's devastating. The Quaylite ships.
Are those quantum weapons? Scaled up?
They must have collided with some of the internal core mechanisms of the station.
Oh, damn. That debris field's going to be around for a while. How are our systems? Bryce kind of reaches in with his Neuralink to the ship computer and starts poking around to survey if we sustained any major damage.
Major systems have been destroyed, but we should be able to use propulsion.
Which systems are down?
Life support.
Estimate time left. Does life support include rad shields?
Rad shields down.
We need to get out as quickly as we can, and we need to find shielding behind something. Long?
Power will be out in 25 minutes.
Go ahead, Bryce. I'm a little busy up here. This thing's a shitstorm of destruction.
No, I get that. It's been a shitstorm for us too.
One of our external weapons
support.
no longer works.
Wait, what no longer works?
The weapons.
Weapon
Oh,
system
lovely.
is 50% functional.
Our rad shields are down. We need just maneuver us behind a hunk of something that can provide us some shielding, or we're gonna fry.
Yeah.
Bryce, I'm hearing whispers.
Whispers? Transmissions?
No. Unsure of origin or... Bryce, I'm scared.
Bryce is looking for thought patterns. Wait, the AI is scared?
the AI is scared, yeah.
Are there any abnormal thought patterns on the ship?
You're not getting any thought patterns.
At all?
No.
Oh. Not even from the crew.
Well, yeah, I guess those thought patterns, but no external ones.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Bryce, I think something is contacting me, telling me to do things.
Bryce immediately... Oh, hell, he stops time. He uses step out of time, he moves to a panel, starts dismantling it, jacks in completely to the computer, and assumes manual control of everything, flushing out the AI.
Okay.
And that'll be his time.
Okay.
Theo would have grabbed some of the batteries, he would have ran over and began working upon the systems, taking out panels and stuff, working as fast as he can, connecting all the damaged bits together and repowering up the life support systems ASAP.
Okay. Bryce, as you're in there, it seems like the AI system was posed to start basically trying to kill its crew.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Like the suppression gases, venting all the oxygen, yeah, every single possible way that AI system could kill its crew was being put into place.
Lovely.
5 different plans to kill all of you.
Okay. Well, I mean, before he tries to track down what that happened or what caused that, he's just going to make sure there are no rogue processes running in the system as a whole. He's going to scour the thing while trying to do what he can to compensate for the lack of oxygen. He's going to, if he can, if the ship is venting anywhere, if he'll seal off the doors to those sections, just whatever he can do.
Okay, yeah, there's certain sections that could be closed down that you don't have to go on to stop the leaking. But it seems like I don't know. It's just there's been some damage to some ducts that come out of the hydroponics plant. Radiation meters, 75%.
Do we have any ideas as to how we can mitigate some of this disaster? Theo, how are things going?
A little busy right here at the moment. If you want to mitigate the disaster, go ahead and move over to the engine room. Get everyone evacuated into there. That's got rad shielding. Go on.
All right, he puts that message on all view screens. There's a very, very clear map leading to the engine area, as long as the view screens are operable. And at the same time, Bryce is checking to make sure nothing's venting in the engine room, so that will be a safe option.
And now docks with the ship. You'll see on the various monitor, I guess Longbeer, that she has had to crash in. Seems like her propulsion wasn't working. Looks like it broke off one of the wings.
Oof.
This is the shuttle, right?
Was she flying the shuttle or her own vessel? I thought it was her own vessel.
If it was her own vessel, there's no way we would fit in it, right?
It was the shuttle.
Oh, it was the shuttle, okay.
Sencon,
Okay.
which is battleship. I just like giving things weird names. Yeah, it was just a standard shuttle that was in the Elkina when we first had it.
Oh, okay.
It holds up to 12 people, so.
All right.
Or 2 Kazukos.
Is Colt on our ship at this time?
I don't know. Is Colt
No.
still a member of the crew, or did he go elsewhere?
No, he was let off.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably Sally, too.
There's no way that Longbeer would keep him on the... Yeah, he did.
Do we have a ship doctor, though?
Pon, I believe, took over as doctor, right? As I also can be a doctor, but I think Pon, right? Wasn't she studying that?
Yeah, we can say that. That's fine.
If not, I'll just continue to be the doctor. I can put points to do it, but it seems good to be a captain.
We could say that Pon has perfected her skills in the last 6 years. Sure.
Bryce checks the cameras to make sure he knows where she is.
Right now, she's just sitting in front of a monitor, just trying to basically seal off places and shut things down, trying to be helpful.
Pawn, if you could move to one of the computers in the engine room, we need everyone in there. And he just repeats on all monitors, everyone evacuate to the engineering room. We're going to be under a lot of radiation, and that's the most shielded section.
Okay, I'll meet you down there. No problem.
Thank you, Bob.
So you all meet down there?
Yeah, Kaz is on there.
Okay.
Longbeer waits. He sends the other crew members, but says that there's something interfering with the drive mechanism, so I can only fire the starboard thrusters to keep moving the ship away, but I have to manually continually calculate it to keep us in the right direction. There's something damaging us. I don't think that the control panel in the engineering is going to function until Theo can fix it.
Yeah, and the control panel that Bryce wired into so that he could maintain manual control over the computer systems is not in engineering, so he won't be moving down there either.
Long will see the one remaining life ship and the debris field of Maverick vessels. The more plasma is being fired out at the last spire. And the remains of the space station seem to be destroyed.
Longbeard actually stops the work that he's doing to just kind of stare at the loss of life. You can't even after all these years, it's still hard to just fathom the amount of people that just lost their lives for something that it just doesn't seem. It's just unfathomable.
Yeah, Shung is also just kind of shell shocked, I guess, staring at in awe.
Yeah, if you're looking at a port or one of the monitor screens, there's just debris everywhere. Little gouts of flame are there before the oxygen is depleted, and then it's actually kind of strangely beautiful as the glaring light of the sun reflects all off of the tumbling pieces of metal.
Beauty from destruction.
Sun comes around the side of the planet, lights it up.
And then the Quay life ship will turn around and head back to Venus, to the surface. Or at least in the upper levels of the atmosphere, you're not sure.
I wonder what reasons they had to come and destroy that.
They probably just detected She life form. That's all they need.
I don't blame them then.
Okay, that should do it. Life support's on.
Does that include the rat shields?
Everything's up.
Oh, God. You're the best, Theo.
It's getting a bit stale in here, so thank you.
You'll see Pawn arrives, and she has various tattoos and skin scarring marks on her. She has various implants and chunks of metal that have no cybernetic function whatsoever. She starts going over you one by one, just looking over you, looking in your eyes, and giving you a booster shot here or there. She has like this sort of bag that is a mixture of all kinds of decals from various places, various stations, various bands and things. It doesn't look very hygienic or professional, but she just keeps shooting you guys up with various things.
Theo, when you get finished, do you think you could possibly come take a look at what we were discussing earlier in my spinal column connection?
You'll hear shuffling from beneath your feet, and then around the wall, and then he'll kind of just a panel will kind of just lift out, and he'll kind of lurch his way out. I just got done reconnecting all the life support the hard way. Just give me a few minutes.
Yes, maybe after you rest.
You'll see the kids sort of run into the room and sort of pile into Theo, his son and daughter. And Anella's close behind them.
Oh, there you guys are. How you doing?
Are we okay? Are we gonna get spaced?
No, you all are fine. Your dad wouldn't let nothing happen to you,
The girl sort of shoves the boy down to the ground, and then she gives Theo a hug. She's crying.
Elena, what? You know better than to shove your brother like that. He'll pick up Walton.
So, what's gonna happen?
Who's saying that?
You'll see Walton, your little boy.
Oh, we're gonna take
All right, you guys there?
Yeah.
Yep. Mary.
Yeah, I sort of panicked. I looked on my desktop, and there's the file. So, all right. Yeah, my laptop's getting old. I think. Just decided to just shut off for no reason.
Maybe it's a Windows update or something. They
Yeah,
like to
maybe.
do that.
Are you hearing whispers from it?
So, you have survived the encounter. Neith is in ruins, and the Maverick Quay mercenary group is what's left of them is returning to Venus.
So it was Mavericks and Quay working together?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Theo looks down at the two kids, and he'll say, before the call dropped, he said, guess what, guys? I got you all a new playmate.
Oh, really? What's it look like? Is it a toy?
It's a robot.
Oh. Where is it? Is it in a box somewhere?
Yeah, Daddy has to put it together, though, all right? I'll let you all watch me.
Oh, cool. Can I help? I've been practicing with the spanners and the joiners.
Yeah.
Kaz looks at Theo's kids and he says, "Your dad's done a lot of work today. How about you come help me organize all the stuff we've refuged from our gatherings?"
Yeah, sure. If Mom's all right with it. The girl looked back to Anel, and yeah, that's fine. Theo, are you sure you're okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Actually, I was hoping to spend some time with the kids. I'll be right over there with you in a little bit, though, all right?
Oh, take your time. I've had more than my fair share with them. It's your turn.
No, I was talking to Kaz.
I'll keep them busy while you take a quick break. Get your bearings.
Are you sure?
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, because they like to take things apart.
The boy will start to climb Kazuka's leg.
There he goes.
You'll see a wire pop out and some gas start spraying. Oh, sorry. He tries to jam back in, but he just does more damage to it.
It looks like you're going to be a little more busy than you thought, yeah.
I told you. He'll get up and he'll start wheeling over to the parts and stuff and start sorting them. He'll have Elena on his shoulders. He'll look up at her. Hey, do you want to go join Kaz and your brother?
No, I'm okay. I like hanging out with you.
Okay.
I thought...
Kaz is pretty much thinking of himself like just hanging out with some kids and just brings back like a little bit of humanity to him, in a sense.
So, if like your head fell off, would you still be alive? Would it like still talk and stuff? Like I could like take it off and like I could feed you.
No, that wouldn't be very good. You wouldn't really like that. Be a messy process.
I got a backpack it'd fit right in.
I wouldn't be alive if you took my head off.
Oh, well, I don't want that, but okay. Just a thought. You know, if you ever want a break, then I guess you'd be never mind.
Maybe you could help your father work on me one day and learn a few things from him.
Maybe you could cut my head off. You could plant me up there and we could talk to each other. Would that be?
No, don't.
Is that bad? I mean, you got a cool body. I want a body like that.
No, the body ain't that cool. It's hard to manipulate.
You could probably kill people with that body. Just punch them in the face a bunch, right?
Possibly. Let's not worry about such things right now.
All right, and here's your playmate. He pulls out the mannequin. Well, it's part of her.
Hello. Who is my master?
Oh, that'll be me.
Am I to... She sort of looks around at the others. Never mind.
He'll immediately turn her around and begin reprogramming her.
You'll see Annelle's eyes, like her eyebrow and her right eye just kind of goes up about 3 inches.
He looks so rather, he's like, not what you think. He has his hands gesturing. It's like, not what you think.
This is for the kids?
Yeah. Okay, look, I was going to reprogram it as like a nanny.
You're going to reprogram that to watch our children? Are you insane?
No, it's just like a playmate.
Exactly. She just kind of turns red.
No, look, I was going to change a lot of things. She's not going to be that equipped. Let's do the bunny gestures with his fingers. Not like that.
She throws her hands up and walks out.
Oh.
Dio, maybe you should save that for you and your wife for a little menage a trois.
He turns his head silently towards you, and there's a bit of a grimace on his face. You're joking, right? He kind of points up at Elena too, on his shoulder, like.
What's that mean?
I'll tell you later. It's okay.
Is that like fixing things and making them happy? Or
it's part
breaking
of
things and making them sad?
It's part of making people happy, but not in that way. I'll tell you when you're older. He just starts hurriedly reprogramming. I thought it'd be a good idea. Okay, I thought it'd be a great idea.
Hey, Dad, why is she painted up that way? She's very colorful.
That's so people can see her better. But we're gonna give her another paint job.
I thought people like to have bots kind of look like people. She looks different. She looks, I don't know, like abstract? Is that the word?
Yeah. She had different functions on the ship. She was used to make people very happy.
Oh, okay. Just, she looks strange, that's all. She just has, like, hinges in weird places, that's all. That's all I noticed. But is she supposed to get to places that you can't normally get to, or what are those hinges for?
Which ones?
Those ones on her back, and do her legs bend forward? That seems strange. But wait, her arms. I mean, those are her arms?
It's designed to be as articulate as the actual human body.
Yeah, whatever you say, Dad.
With some extra mobility involved. And there we go, reprogrammed. He flips the latch down and kicks her on.
Oh. Hello, kids. How are you doing today? Do you want to retire to your bedrooms? And they sort of look at it. No, we're fine. And then the girl goes over and hugs her dad. Hugs Theo. Daddy, it kind of creeps me out.
Oh, it does?
And it's just the way it talks. Its mouth looks strange.
He'll shut it off completely.
I'm sorry.
He'll like kind of facepalm himself. He'll pick them both up. You know what? Let's go have a look at the gravity generator Daddy brought back. Huh? Let's go look at that.
Okay. So, what's Bryce doing? Focus on him.
Bryce has been spending time meticulously poking through the ship's backups and making sure nothing else was modified or whispered at. He's eventually going to get around to looking over their backup of the ship AI. That was Aisho, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. You'll see no recorded messages. You'll see no signs of anything happening, which is strange. But you suspect that there's some new technology that was used.
Right. But to the best of my ability, I can't spot anything that's been altered.
The only thing that you can spot is the responses to the whispers. Those have been recorded. Things like, there's lots of, I'm sorry that goes against my programming. Bryce wouldn't like that. The captain has already died once. Things like that.
Oh, great. Well, at
They
least
won't be able to breathe.
seems somewhat trustworthy. Yeah, I think Bryce is going to contact the captain through comms. Long?
Yep. Go ahead, Bryce.
I still can't quite tell what was tampering with the systems earlier.
I didn't even know anything was tampering. I just thought it was an explosion, the damages.
Yeah, I've had to take manual control, and I flushed the AI. I have a backup of Aisho here, though. I can try to reinstate, but I'm not sure whether... Well... Is that wise? Otherwise I can just stay hooked in and control all the systems myself.
No. I think we need you need to not be worried about that stuff anymore. I say put Aisho in and just monitor him as opposed to, I call him. Monitor him as you would normally. Do you think that there's a danger of this, quote, whispering, this whatever this is?
The strangest part is that I can't... The only trace of it I can detect is the computer's responses to it. I'm not seeing any log files left behind by it. I'm not sure what door it entered through. I don't know if our computer systems are secure. My encryption was really solid last time I was on. I don't know how they got through or what got through.
Well, would you say that it was something that was probably on the space station that was doing that attack? I
can't say. There's no trace. It stands to a certain degree of reason, given that that's where we were. But,
well, that would explain why the colony ships just all of a sudden just crashed into each other. A blanket attack on all the systems.
But I had suspected that the colony ships would have been interfered with by the She, and thus through telepathy. Since they are organic ships anyway and are piloted by organic minds, but our ship, it's a different story. It could be some Sisson tech that we don't know about, but...
Well, did you bring anything on board that could actually transfer, attack the AI?
We brought their computers, and I think Theo might have brought some extra stuff, but I honestly don't know. Again, I haven't seen anything over any of the frequency bands I can monitor that's interacted, so...
Is there anything running with power? Or is everything off, has no power?
Everything is shut down unless there's auxiliary power that Theo and I failed to locate.
Yeah, as far as the AI, I would prefer to have IShow. I mean, he would help us restore some of the systems that are down. But if you don't think, I mean, you know what? I mean, when it comes to this stuff, Bryce, you're the master when it comes to that. If you think that you can turn him off, or if you think that for now we should keep him off, or I'd hate to run the ship without IShow. We've had him for so long.
I just need a lot of stims to keep awake until we know everything's secure, if I'll be running things.
Pawn will start communicating with the captain. Captain, there has been some high levels of radiation that they have absorbed. I gave him some stims and some shots. There's going to be some vomiting in the days to come, but I think most of the damage can be reversed.
All right, thanks, Pon. Is there anything extra we have to do, or can they maintain the activity that they're doing? I don't want to stress them.
If they start pissing blood, tell them to come see me, but otherwise I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you, Pon.
Do you need me? Do we need to stay down here? Are we still getting blasted with radiation?
No, the shields are up. You can go back to whatever you're doing.
All right, yeah, contact me if you need me.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Pon.
She sort of looks at Kazuko with the kid sitting on his shoulder. She just has a smile, and then she walks out.
Cass smiled back at her right before she turned around.
Beer to Theo.
Yeah, long beer.
Theo, you got, it looks like the majority of the systems up here I've restarted. Everything looks okay. I don't know if you want to check them out. We still have main power for the drives. That's kind of our priority.
Don't worry, I'll get that up and running. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start on that immediately. He'll.
I also, did you bring back anything that had power? Bryce is saying that we had some sort of AI attack and you had to shut down IShow, actually wipe him from the system.
The only thing that had power was this bot right here.
Did you get a chance to scan it, make sure there didn't have any malware on it?
We didn't really have any time. Plus, it really wasn't connected to anything at the moment. They're not really connected to the systems, except for the systems on the ship that it was originally from. Unless it has hacking protocols that we haven't seen yet. Bryce might have to check that out. He'll be much faster at it than I.
Yeah, maybe we should check that out. He's saying that Bryce says that everything else isn't powered. Now it's the only thing that was powered that was brought on the ship. When everything was shut down. I thought the blast from the colony ships blowing up, the quantum fields destroyed, caused all the problems, but it looks like it was something else. Could have been some sort of weird Quay attack or Psi attack, I don't know.
It could have been a mixture of things. Right now, it's way too early to tell. All we can do now is do some damage control and try to fix things up. And I've pretty much got my hands full for the whole week.
All right, well, if you need any help, let me know. I'm going to send Loris down to help you with whatever you need.
Send who?
Loris. Loris is I don't know, I just named a cog tech that would have been probably an apprentice on you. The ship. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
With that, Beer kind of calms off and contacts Bryce. Are you there?
Yeah.
Theo brought a bot on board. He never had a chance to scan it. He thinks that if you scan it to make sure it doesn't have any type of tunneling worm or Trojan attack or something that could attack, damage our system, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, I can go take a look. I didn't get your final word on IShow though. Do you want me to restore?
I say check out the bot, make sure that's not emitting anything, and then let's engage IShow and we'll keep him monitored. We can always just put a backdoor kill switch in, so any of us can manually do it.
Sure thing.
Thanks, Bryce.
He'll walk over quickly to the kids, be like, hey, your stomachs are feeling alright, yeah? Your tummy's alright?
I'm a little nauseous. Why? Are we gonna die?
No. If you feel like you're gonna throw up, just go ahead and tell me, and we'll take you right down to see your big sister, Samantha.
Okay. Well, she jabbed me a few times, so maybe that'll make me feel better. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I pass that on over to you, Bryce.
Okay. Well, Bryce walks in through the engineering room doors and just heads straight over. Where's that bot?
Right there in the bin. It's the one leaning out.
Do you mind if I crack it open? I'm gonna have to wire in.
Go ahead. It's useless to me now. I can't fucking use it no more.
Are you sure it's powered down?
Well, I mean, it's got the battery still in it, but I've shut it off.
Okay, well, we'll take a look. And Bryce
I don't really care what you do with the programming and stuff. You can just wipe that stuff clean. I can't use the parts, though. That's the only thing I care about.
Bryce just slumps next to the next to the bot, kind of tired, and starts slowly wiring things in after cracking a back panel off.
What's Kazuko up to?
He's just finishing up, putting all the stuff away. He's pretty much done playing with Theo's kids. I think he's gonna go talk to Pon.
Okay.
He's gonna Pon. I was wondering if you had a chance if you could take a look at my nervous system, make sure everything's connected tight in there. I've been having some issues with movement.
Well, we did have to 3D print all that stuff from your. You didn't really have much, spinal cord when we found your head. Maybe it was maybe an error, and I don't know. Do I need to splice it some more, maybe?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was just still getting used to everything. But Theo suggested I should have it taken looked at.
Are you in pain?
No pain. I get phantom pains. I know it's not there, but just a reminder of what I once was.
Have you used the New Realms program? It might be something to get away from your situation, to have a break, an escape.
No, I haven't. I'm not familiar with it.
Well, you're a little bit different, but I believe we can still attach a flesh port to the back of your spinal column there. You just need to plug in, and it takes care of the rest. It's nice. It's not really for me, but I have another version of me in there. She kind of runs the place. The other Bryce, he's sort of plugged in all the time.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'm gonna head up to Bryce, see how he's making out with Loris there.
Sorry, with Loris?
I think Loris is this tech guy who's helping out Theo right now.
All right. So I want to talk to Pon was telling me about some stuff I could connect to here that might help me out, help me relax some of the phantom pains I'm having and stuff. He said you might be able to help me with that.
Connect in terms of, like, It's just, so I'm sure she has all sorts of pain relief stims and things like that. I'm not sure what you mean.
Some kind of programming, I think.
Like, oh, are you meaning new realms?
Yeah, I don't feel physical pain anymore, my friend. But I have these phantom pains. They don't go away.
I should probably ask, which Bryce are you talking to?
Probably the current one. The other one's always plugged in, I think.
Yeah, okay. It's, yeah, I'm sure that Pawn can have you fitted with a flesh port. I'm surprised that we haven't already. You'll need to back up fairly regularly, just in case. I mean, we wouldn't be able to replicate. No, we'd have to replicate GNU separately, but... Yeah, Pawn should be able to fit you with that. Are you wanting to have that done now?
Yeah, I would, you got some downtime. I wouldn't mind, having everything looked over. I've been having trouble with movements too. I don't know. It's connecting my mind to what I want to do.
No, I can definitely understand that. The she did a number on me too. Yeah, just...
How did you overcome these things?
How did I overcome these things? Well, eventually my fingers stopped tingling. You can see that, Bryce, and you've known this for a while, Bryce is just completely laced with these fine, old scars that kind of branch out in places like, the veins on a leaf. He was vivisected entirely by the she, just splayed open and put back together. It's just something that happens with time. Your mind will sort it out. It's incredibly plastic, and I certainly have experience interfacing with machines. You just have to wait for the patterns to click for you. I mean, eventually you'll develop a shorthand with GNU, and, like, everything... It'll be like having arms and legs. It's gonna take you time, though. I mean, when I interface with the ship, since I've been at this for years connected to the system, like 15 years, I've had my neural link in. But when I'm accessing ship systems, it's like moving a hand or a leg. It must be slightly more difficult for you because you're actually moving a physical part, and it's determining your orientation at a given moment, your balance, how you step. I can't imagine what that's like to adapt to. But
It's been a very difficult journey, I must say.
Surely.
All right, my friend.
Well, I hope that New Realms brings you some peace, or at least that you get back to the meditation you used to do. That always seemed to calm you down.
Yeah, it's I've got so much I've been through with the she, what they've done to me. Meditating, it's finding itself very difficult to find that zen, that zone. The peace I once felt, I can't really feel it anymore.
I hope that someday we can find you peace again, friend.
With that, Theo kind of walks over. Looks like Loris is taking a sweet-ass time again. Go ahead and kneel down for me real quick, Kaz.
Alrighty? Kaz kneels down, kind of hunched over a little bit.
You're gonna feel a little prick back here, but I'm just gonna be poking around real quick. Okay, now do you feel that?
Not really.
Okay, now do you feel it?
I feel a strange sensation. It's hard to pinpoint.
Okay, what about now?
Definitely feel. I feel it.
Okay, you should have more motor control now over your body.
Yeah, I feel a little more. Feel a little pressure. It's an odd feeling. Not having my body and feeling certain things. It's an odd feeling.
Well, don't worry. Cybernetics takes a little while to get used to. Yours is a lot more fully prosthetic than most bodies. Let's see here. Okay, well, after I get done installing this ship, or getting the power back on for the drive, we'll see about getting you some new neural network sensor grids laid out. These will help you have more sensory perception within your own body. That should help out.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate this.
It's no problem.
The door will open up, and in rolls Loris on his tracks. He sort of spins in and, hey, what? Hey, I was sleeping. What do you want?
Oh, hey, nothing much. The ship almost crashed. Where the fuck were you?
Just taking a little time out for myself. What do you want?
Yeah, okay. What's with the sensor grid right here? This grid matrix is a mess. What were you doing?
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Why don't you kick it on the side or something?
Let's take a look at it, shall we? He opens it up. It's a complete entanglement of wires and meshes, and it just looks like junk incarnate.
Hey, why don't you have that guy help you? He's pointing over to Shang. He looks like a, I don't know, big bucket full of knowledge. Why don't you dump him out and see if he knows anything?
He looks all right, Shishang. Are you gonna go with engineering? You a mechanic at heart?
Yeah, you got to deal with this guy being a smartass all the time. It's fun.
Was he saying that to me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I wouldn't have to be if someone would actually do their job once in a while.
I left my mom thinking it'd be all right, but it looks like I replaced one for another one. But yeah, whatever. What the hell? I'll work on it.
Shakes his head. Look, just get it straightened out, all right? We almost had a complete system failure.
Yeah.
These backup drives need to be reinstalled, and we need to put in new backups for the backups, all right?
Yeah.
Redundancy systems.
Whatever. Let's start working on it.
He'll just shake his head. And take a little deep breath. Oh, boy.
It's a pain in my ass.
I heard that.
Why don't you give me some space here, huh? You're like a cockroach caught up a leg. You're pissing me off.
If you had legs, sure.
You'll see Loris, this cog Maverick guy, look over at Sheng again. What, cat guy your tongue or something, huh? I called you maybe next time I call you a bucket full of shit. Maybe that'll get you to talk. He looks over at Shang again. He stops working.
Shang, don't mind him. He's just a little grumpy today. 'Cause apparently the little boy didn't get his sweepy.
Yeah, well, I'll do what you want, and just leave me alone.
He'll look up at the kids, and he'll say, remember when we were looking through that data log, and you all saw those dogs?
No. Are you gonna print us out a dog?
Yeah, I was thinking about building you all one.
Oh. Okay. Like parts?
Yeah. We got a whole bin full over there. Wouldn't take much machining to reconvert.
All right. Yeah, that sounds fun.
All right, well, after Daddy gets done doing all this, I'll go ahead and build it for you, all right? And then you all can watch. How's that sound?
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be fun.
All right, kids. Let's go watch Daddy get the ship back online. He'll start going over and getting the power back on.
All right. I'm trying to think. It's probably a good place to wrap up. You guys have survived. Yeah, we'll have to get the NPCs straightened out. I kind of, I was a little thrown for a loop for those guys. Like, what? More people? What's this?
Yeah, sorry. I just started in my head. I just started making. I was like, man, I need a Psy guy on the deck. I'll just call him Dax. And then I was like, we would probably have another tech guy in case, just so Theo doesn't have to do everything all the time.
Maybe I should. This guy seems like...
I didn't know he was incompetent until after you let us know.
All right. Just for the new guys, we usually have like this BS session at the end, so don't be afraid to speak up or whatever.
Yeah, I actually have Maureen written down as another Hellcat. Maybe a friend of it now. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. You're making me a lot of work here, John.
I like to have many voices. As many as you...
You could also spread the workload if that's desired, like we did in the early sessions when people would miss them.
Okay, we're good.
Hey, when Theo was gone, I was telling you what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what would Theo do?
Yeah, we kind of got away from that. Well, all right.
People started showing up and playing.
Yeah, that's always good. I like when people show up. Jason, what'd you think of today? Anything that jumps out at you? Feel free to talk about anything, really.
No, it's fun. Just trying to get oriented. It's like jumping into a whole nother universe, and so I'm just trying to pick up all the terminology and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys like to come up with their own stuff too. So I don't know if I've played in a science fiction. Let me think here. No, I don't think. Not maybe like Star Wars, but like no, I've never done like a straight like more hard sci-fi. Well, it's kind of hard. Yeah, there's a lot of hard sci-fi going on here. And when you're talking about like gravity generators and oxygen bombs and shit like that, so it's cool. Not a lot of people run like a hard sci-fi game. It's like one in 100 probably. Well, there is hard sci-fi, but there's also like the weird Kizzen powers and stuff going around too.
Yeah, so. It's like super meets sci-fi. Yeah,
it's kind of a weird blend of genres. It's
like very transhuman too, so I like that. But I remember listening to like your early sessions, and one thing that stuck out to me was how you guys use a lot more narration to manipulate like things in sci-fi ways that my brain is like trying to learn how to do that, but it's difficult because I'm not like technically like adept.
Well,
so
there's lots of techno babble, and I think
there's lots of techno babble.
Yeah. Between John and Phil, you guys say a lot of stuff. I'm like,
which is great.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like I love it. It's perfect. When my mouth opens, it doesn't come out. So.
I always try to throw in some explanation whenever I say something like that. A lot of that comes from like when we started this. Tim Silver's doing like this experiment with more player narration control for the players and stuff. So I figured sometimes it's been a while since we played, so I'm kind of getting myself back in the loop. But it probably won't take long before I'll start making up even more crazy stuff. So strap yourselves in, boys.
Yeah, you find yourself, instead of asking, like, what is on the wall, you just say what's on the wall, and then he'll be like, yeah. And if it's something that he doesn't want there, he'll be like, not quite. So very rarely does that happen.
Like, there has been times when, like, I thought, like, oh, well, I had this idea, but I'm just going to go with whatever's going, whatever's coming out of your mouths, and it's usually a lot better anyway, so it's kind of neat. And I have to deal with my son a lot, too, so it's nice to be able to go, all right, guys, yeah, you do all the work. I'll be right back. And sometimes it's hard to hear you guys because my son's screaming and yelling, and I got the mute button on. But,
it was hard when we first started, though. Like, we'd all had that weird second of pause where we weren't sure what to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, though. I mean, it's like, all right, so, there's no one that can really direct where you're going or anything, so let's just go with it,
Yeah, I sort of fall back on traditional GM stuff sometimes, but I try to bounce questions back. I try to have you guys answer your own questions. So, I don't know. I go back and forth. Sometimes I do it more, sometimes I do it less, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you walk away, if you have to go do something for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, it's kind of cool,
Yeah, it's very helpful. It makes me running this game a lot easier than, it would be otherwise. Because I found as a traditional GM, I did a lot of talking. And, like, that's kind of hard when there's a kid screaming all the time. So I figured this was actually a good time to experiment with me doing less talking. So it seems to work out pretty well.
It makes sense. It works. I like it.
There's times I think when you can hear Wes in the background, but I try to cut that all out.
I didn't hear him even once. So.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, your mic must cut out like that superfluous sound or something.
Well, I hit the mute button like crazy, like just the sight.
Yeah, in a master level muter. I am like basic, not even typing. First.
I always laugh when I can hear your keyboard.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. I'll just type it away.
I love
the fridge and I'm typing something. I'll be like, hey guys, I'm typing in. It's like,
what's that, Alex?
Oh, I loved having the alarms and telephone ringtones turn into elements of the story.
It's awesome.
Like, oh, radiation's going up. Sucks to be you guys. Oh,
Yeah, that was my doorbell. Funny, you're like, the alarms are going. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh.
Well, it's perfect in sci-fi, but try justifying that in fantasy. It'd be a little harder.
No, that's your stone of warning.
Yeah.
It chimes a hollowed ring when danger approaches.
It ushers in random encounters or something. So, Rick, did anything jump out at you from today's session? Like, I don't know. I kept trying to get you in there. You kind of seemed like I was, Jason jumped right in, and I was like, well, Rick seems like he's holding back. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get him in there somehow.
I was a little confused at first, just like Jason, it's like, I've never really done anything sci-fi ever.
Oh, okay.
So, I was kind of just trying to, like, pick up what everybody was saying, and then, like, they started rambling on about all this weird shit. I couldn't understand. And I was like, all right, dude, I have no idea what this thermonuclear fucking thing does or whatnot.
Well, most of the time they don't either, so.
Yeah, I know. But it's just like, I wouldn't even know where to go with it, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it does.
Yeah, it's playing the sci-fi games is probably a little bit more difficult if you're only used to fantasy or whatever. But I found it's been a nice change.
No, it's fantastic.
I know when I first started running this game, I was like, hey, am I going to be able to come up with ideas to keep this campaign going? And I literally have like pages of ideas that I could throw at you guys, whatever. The campaign will probably run out before we get to them all. But it's fun.
Built up that sheet, which had like 50.
Yeah, having the weird stuff.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah, but don't be afraid to jump in if I'm like ignoring you for a while. Don't be afraid to come, poke me in the bottom or whatever. But I try to keep it fairly balanced. Like, okay, he's been talking for a while. Let's try to get over to these guys. Or
well, my problem is too like these guys are really good, So like when they start going into like some kind of weirdness that they do, It's like you start actually like following it, like, whoa, dude, this is cool, you know? And like, you totally forget like what you would even be doing right now. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
No, I totally understand that. You're just you kind of listen in. I think one of our previous players, Brian, was the same way. He was so used to listening in on games that he forgot that he was playing in them a couple times. So.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. I'll just be listening, and then someone will ask me a question. I'll be like, "Oh, what? Oh, I'm actually playing a character. I'm not listening to this on my phone, right?"
Yeah, no, that's the same thing in our Mutant Epoch game that we're doing online. Is we just kind of jump in, and when we want, you don't have to like wait for somebody to invite you into the convo. You just find a reason, put yourself in there. It's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, don't be afraid to say, yeah, well, Kazuka's there. He walks in the door, or whatever. Just try to jump yourself in.
I'm just still getting oriented to things, so I'm kind of like timid, but that'll go away.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this is a little bit different too, because this is like the first session, and there's been a huge time jump, and you guys are playing for the first time. You're still getting used to your characters too. So.
Yeah, I'm also pretty new to it, and then it's like coming into like a new group that's been playing this game for a while. So you're trying to figure out where they're at, so you're kind of like struggling with that a little bit, but I don't know. I think I did all right for being a new.
That was fine.
Yeah, you did good. You and Jason both, I think, are going to fit in just fine, so no worries, man.
Just as long as there's enough synthetic prostitutes to go around, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I was throwing in some risque sort of like black humor a few times. Where I'm like, yeah, I might have crossed the line.
It was fabulous. You didn't cross any lines. It was perfect. And that whole scene where they power her up and the kids, that was fucking brilliant. That was like that scene needed to happen, and it happened, and it was perfect. And it was glorious.
Daddy, what are all these hinges for? I don't understand. Oh crap!
Oh, what was that bar on the Amish world?
Out of the box.
Oh, out of the box.
Out of the box, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, if you want to hear something weird.
Yeah, that was like that. Basically, like genetic hybrid horrors was basically what the whole situation was like. What kinds of bizarre stuff?
All I could think of was the cow. Like, that's,
Oh, poor Lyran.
Okay. How about Phil? What'd you think about today?
It's fantastic. I was trying to. It's a little strange getting back into the groove again. It's been a few weeks.
Was the time jump weird for you?
Not really. 'Cause this whole time I had a lot of time to think about the time jump and stuff. I didn't expect the kids to be so calm and collective. I had it in my head that they'd be crazy and just like start running around screaming. So I was trying to imagine actual 6-year-olds. So I was like thinking about my nephews and nieces, and I was like, how cool are they like? They were a little super excited at times.
Yeah, I think I need to get a list of everyone, all the crew, all the NPCs, and start figuring things out. Because I was, like I said, I was a little like, I was like off kilter on that stuff today. I was like, I got all these NPCs to play. I got to figure it out.
Yeah, I know. John threw out Loris, and I was like, Loris? I thought you said Lars for a second. And I was like, Lars? Lars?
This black metal guy shows up. Yeah.
Oh boy. Have you guys had a chance to read up on the session recaps?
No, I have not. Well, it seemed like they ended. I looked at the thing, and I have it open right here, and it says it ends at like, what is it, 14, but I thought you guys did like 20 or 22 or something.
There's probably another page.
yeah, another page.
Yeah? Oh, let me...
Maybe it's a small little 2 or,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is the way they do it.
It's always at the top for some reason, too.
It's in the top, yeah. What the hell is that?
Yeah, so you go to the bottom, and it's like, oh, it's done. Should be like a button at the bottom that says 2, yeah.
It's a free forum, so I can't really complain.
All right, we'll let it go.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I figured it out with help from people with higher IQs. So.
How about Alex? What'd you think about today?
Well, I mean, it was exciting to see the Quay back in action, and actually dealing some damage. I'm kind of with Phil. It took a minute to get back to the swing of things. Yeah, I think in terms of getting the new crew involved, it'll be a lot easier once we've kind of settled a bit and figured out what their primary functions on the ship are. Because, I mean, with Theo and Long and Bryce, we are in a position where we can delegate things to each other with great ease, because we know, okay, this person has in the past handled stuff like this really well and whatnot. And yeah, it'll just make a lot more sense after a few sessions once we've seen what the new Kazuko is like and what Shang is like on board. But yeah, it's kind of an intense session and a lot of loose threads to be tugged at. Yeah.
Okay. That was my thing too. Is I was trying to figure out like what I could do on the ship, you know. So I was like, I'll stack batteries, you know. Because but you guys seem to like have the whole ship under control. So I'm like, oh, what can I do, you know? I'm like trying to think, like looking at my sheet here and like, so I'm like, I'll stack batteries for now, you know.
You can go play with a cybernetic prostitute.
Well, Gino was in that like sort of like security bot before, and Kazuko, he was like the language specialist and spiritual guy who didn't share his spirituality much. So,
well, he didn't get a chance to share his spirituality too much.
Yeah, he did a lot of meditating, but he didn't want to talk about it at all.
Well, his spirit kind of projected onto our ship that one time.
Yeah, that is true.
Does that count? Yeah, he was also sort of the ship diplomat, but I have a feeling Kazuko's not in that frame of mind right now.
Yeah, being splayed open and his head tortured and all that.
Maybe I'll take over the security role then.
Oh, there you go.
That could be interesting.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, we haven't had a dedicated security officer yet.
Oh, we have a red shirt. I'm sorry, Rick. Or those are the red shirts, right? In Star Trek, security guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Engineering.
If you're talking about TOS, if it's TNG, they wear yellow.
Oh, okay.
I think it's mustard.
It's that Kirk Gold.
Yeah.
The original captain shirt.
How about you, John? Any thoughts?
I don't know, like everyone, I had a little bit of trouble. You know what? I spent a lot of time thinking about what modifications could be done to everything or what changes should be done. I didn't spend any time thinking about what changes would happen with Longveer. So I was like, oh, I don't know. How would he, would he just be normal with like taking commands and just kind of sitting back and letting people do what they do? So I don't know. I'll fix that for next week when I come to it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I kind of thought it'd be a little jarring today to try to fast forward 6 years and then bring in 2 new players. So I kind of expected a little bit of that.
The break 2 seemed to like not only 6-year jump, but for some reason just 1 week always seems to set me off a little bit for coming back into it. And then Theo seemed really a lot more, I don't know, solid to me. Like he was, I don't know.
Which one we talking about?
Which Theo?
No, which scene? Are we talking about the one with the sex bot?
It seemed like, you seemed a lot calmer under pressure. You find commands to the guys, which is pretty awesome to see Theo. Because I'll just work alone type, you know what I mean?
I figured after having kids, he'd sort of mellow out after a while.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. He's got to be a better person for them. It was my mindset.
That's a good thought.
Of course, now he's got to explain to Anel that he wasn't trying to give them a sex bot.
Yeah.
Here you go, boy. Slap him on the back a few times. Yeah.
Well, it's just like your dad. You know, your dad brings home some hunk of shit he found, and he wants to fix it up. It's just exactly how my dad was. Perfect. It sits in the driveway or your backyard for 5 years. Nothing ever gets done on it.
You know, the idea, though, for Theo bringing that bot, it actually kind of makes sense as a nanny type thing. But because you did it, you executed it before it was finished. Like, if you had cleaned her and set her up and then reprogrammed her before showing her.
It was too late.
Yeah, you were.
The kids were already creeped out by her, and I was like, oh, I'm done. All right, we'll give up. We're turning you into a dog.
Daddy, she has a weird mouth. What's up with that? Yeah, I thought that was
awkward.
That was funny, dude.
That mouth is designed for other things, dear.
I'm always surprised. Oh, what?
Oh, it's hilarious.
What it made me think is that you have that first AI teddy bear in your room still. So it made me think of, what was that movie, AI?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a teddy bear that walked around with the kid and a sex bot? So now all we need is another. Oh, we have Pond. There we go. You have the triumvirate of the movie.
Have you guys seen the movie Her?
Not yet.
Yeah, I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when we started interacting with that the mannequin, the AI that was like trying to like change, it was like adaptive. I was like, oh, it's kind of like Her a little bit. Like asks you all these questions, and then but Tim's version was a bit wonky, and so whatever we say to her, she's gonna like twist into some crazy ass bullshit.
Well, yeah, Bryce and Pond did a lot of that too. Yeah, back when she was an AI program. So yeah, she has a weird history where she was actually a girl and she was being like uploaded into trying to be an AI personality, and then she was killed, and then that AI personality lived for a while in various forms, and then they put it back into an actual. They printed out her DNA and implanted her AI personality into that physical body.
But she did, technically.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what does she look like? An 18-year-old?
Yeah, she's I think
she's 19.
I think 19 we said.
19.
Yeah.
So Theo and I ripped the what was that? The core computer or something, and brought it with us.
We took out a lot of things besides the
like,
core.
Yeah, I was just like
a gravity core to make artificial gravity, I think, right?
Yeah, the gravity core we took out, which is it's like a spear that's connected to those things that astronauts use to kind of just throw themselves around? It's like that, but imagine it much bigger in a large sphere, and that would spin.
It was Bryce and me, not Theo, sorry.
Oops.
It was Bryce and me that grabbed the...
we were taking apart basically the entire control center of that station. So we're going to have a lot of information to sift through, and maybe some cool computer tech.
I want to know what kind of genetic DNA things they were doing. I can't wait to find that out.
Yeah, that will not be pleasant.
Well,
especially the aerosolized genetic material she was talking about.
What?
Well, there was tanks that the general had set up to basically spray everybody so they didn't. Oh,
those tread things. What were they called?
Well, no, they just had tanks that you could hit a button and it would spray a bunch of gas that they would breathe in through their nose and affect their DNA somehow.
Oh, I see.
But there were bots that were. Is that what you're talking about? The ones that they rolled in with their arms and tore everybody to shreds?
Yeah. What was that?
We didn't find those.
We didn't find those.
No, we didn't find them.
There might be.
Thank God.
Yeah, it didn't happen to bump into those today, so that's good.
Well, like the whole time when she started talking about DNA modification, I was thinking of this episode of Red Dwarf. I don't know if you guys watched that, but there's this one where they go on to a derelict ship and the guy's like pressing buttons and then the computer's like saying shit about DNA modification and it ends up changing him into like something else. I can't remember what it is now. So I kept expecting us to get like turned into something.
It gets turned into a chicken, I think, right?
Yeah, and then somebody else gets, or what happens? Something. Oh, a thing of Vindaloo gets turned into a monster or something.
And that's when the robot gets turned into an actual human.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It actually makes him into a human. He walks around. He's like, oh.
It was nice having you guys in the group. We kind of lost some people due to real life and stuff. So yeah, it's nice to get some more voices to interact with. So that's good.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I think I watched your videos back to back. I'm like, yeah. I think someone might have mentioned wanted to play more or something. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I'll throw them an invite.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great.
See if they want to play. So.
Absolutely.
I think Rick, you were telling me that you want to play more. I can't remember. It just happened.
I don't really remember either. I think we were just talking about like experience, and I was like, I really don't know. I don't really have much experience with gaming, but I played in a few games, and I think it came down to like systems, and I'm like, I don't really have money to dish out on a bunch of different systems, and like some people collect all those books and shit,
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it was like something. Oh, because I was like, D&D 5e's out. There's gonna be a lot of people wanting to play that, and a lot of new people coming to that system. So I'm just gonna focus on that.
That's right. I was talking about my hacking of an old setting, and I'm like, yeah. Well, instead of having you be a player in some future game that might never happen, how about you just jump at the one that I'm currently running? I think that's how.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, yeah, I like the whole immersive style like this. It's fun because, I think it's less prep for GMs because they don't have to plan out a whole bunch of shit because we're talking most of the time, and also I don't know, I like the theater of the mind where I'm just sitting here. I don't even have to look at anything, and I can picture it all in my head. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Like all the other games I've ever been in, it was kind of like really dry for like what I was looking for, So it's kind of like, all right, so you're gonna go up and you're gonna hit this guy, roll your dice. I'm like, all right, so this is what. Next person, like,
yeah.
At least let me explain what I'm doing here,
No, there is no explanation. We are machines. Move forward. Next turn.
Exactly.
Did we even roll dice?
Calculate values. Add bonuses. Continue.
I think at one point I was going to have Bryce roll something, and I don't think it actually went down. So.
Bryce did roll something.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Bryce rolled something. So. That's usually how it works. It's like, did anybody roll dice today? Yeah, I think once we did.
-6 dice.
That's right. Yeah.
I actually rolled some dice. On the World of Darkness online dice roller.
Aha.
That's our running gag that Phil is a paid sponsor for the World of Dice roller. He always mentions it's funny. It's kind of.
I always link it because it's online. You don't have to actually because I don't have enough D10s to roll some of the things they have, and I don't want to re-roll my D10s a lot. So I just rather have that.
World of Darkness dice roller, is it an official thing or?
It's not official. I put it in the link during the beginning here.
It was just on the chat.
Right there.
Oh. Okay.
I usually put it up at the beginning of the game. I did it last time. I did it today actually.
I didn't want to click on your virus. No, I'm kidding.
You'll start to hear whispers in your head. You won't know where it's coming from.
And then you'll have sex box at your door. Mummy, what does that mean?
Well, guys, I got to get going because Wes tore this place up all day long today, and my wife's coming home in like 20 minutes. So. I'm supposed to cook dinner too, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And dishes. Oh crap!
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I think we should be playing next week unless something changes. I'll let you guys know.
We'll see how your wife reacts when she gets home.
Yeah.
That'll be
You're grounded for a whole month.
She'll smash my laptop. No. All right, guys. Thanks for playing, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right,
Good game. Good game.
Yep, good game.
Take it easy.